And welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today, I am playing some Minecraft. And precisely in Minecraft, I'm working on a mega project. One that I think we're in 13 hours into this, once you add up all the previous live streams. Playlist linked down below. And my controller's just not working. We could do this with mouse and keyboard, but I think it's so much more chill to do this on the controller sense. Okay, here we go. I think, no, still no progress. Well, you know what? I guess it's a mouse and keyboard day because I don't understand technology. Honestly, yeah, I've been having a good day. Thank you for asking. I don't know. Actually, I've been having like a very confusing series of days in terms of like, you know, I not a lot of stuff is getting done, but the time is still going away anyway. Like, it's like that mini... like, I wasn't joking when I had that, like, mini crisis yesterday about, like, but where does a day go? And it's a fascinating thing to really think about. But, you know, today we've got exciting things. Minecon Live 2021 was just announced. And, you know, many other things. Can you fly over so we can see the progress so far? You know what? I'll do precisely that right now. So this is my firework elytra system. As you can see, I've drained all the way under this, like, oil thing, right? Oh, God. Had to do that, didn't I? I've drained all the way under this, except on the very far left side right here. This is the section I basically have to do today, and then after that we can work out whether we want to expand to the east. I think that's the most logical direction, or we could start expanding further this way. I think the problem is we need to, like, rebuild an ice highway over what we destroy at this point, so we're going to be very cautious about what we choose to do. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun regardless, and join me for the next couple of hours while we play some Minecraft and, I don't know, wax philosophical about dumb things you never realized you even wanted a internet cat man to talk about. Yeah, the problem with using my mouse is, for whatever reason, I guess I just don't have a mouse pad. It's really jittery, and I hate how it looks. Like, can you see this right here where it's, like, scratching a tiny bit? Like, it's really frustrating to me. I love how smooth the camera controls for, like, the purpose of YouTube with a controller, and it's also just more comfortable for me. Which should be the ultimate reason, right? A lot of people get into, like, peripheral wars because... I know, it's fun to be tribal sometimes. It's fun to think that, like, there is a whole section of society that is really just getting it that much worse than you. I think this is, like, okay, can we talk about something, controversial in the news? So something I find hilarious, like, on the surface, is, people are taking a drug that is meant for... meant for deworming horses, right? Getting rid of parasites in horses, and they're taking it as a way to, I want to say it's maybe it's a cure for COVID to them. Maybe it's a treatment. I don't know what they're thinking, but it's a widespread drug that people are taking, and I think it's interesting because this I've seen this in a lot of places, and a lot of people dunking on it because it's incredibly dumb, right? But also, it's like, actually, apparently, it's not just used for deworming horses. There are very weird circumstances they will use it on a human. And so, it's not incredibly dumb, it's just really dumb. But, like, is there really a difference in that one, is maybe the question that comes out of that. And the answer is, I don't really know, but I figured I'd mention it at least a little bit so far. Also, I'm glad you like the ocean, Michaela, and how it's looking so far. Like the HIV drug being... Yeah, honestly, the thing that a lot of people are realizing via this, though, is that people have relied on, what's the term for it? Herbal remedies? Not herbal. People have relied on, like, alternative medicines for a long time. And even though they have no scientific basis, a scientific basis isn't how a lot of people run their knowledge of the world. Like, it seems dumb to base your life on anecdotal evidence. But, you know, sometimes, you know, like, I know there's this like trust in systems you have to have for science to be a thing you believe in. Also, thank you, Correctional Officer Snowtop. You know, are you really a correction officer, or are you like you know, you like correcting people on what they do, so you're a correction officer? Which way? How does that work? You gotta let me know. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's really interesting. This, like, I know it is fun to. Placebos work when used appropriately, says Dunkasaur. That's the wackiest bit, right? Most of what any technique working is believing it will work. And a lot of what, like, if you believe that you're getting bad treatment, it will genuinely, like, I don't know, if you every now and then I have this moment where I'm like, oh god, yeah, you know, there's this gentleman coughing, or so, you know, there's some tiny thing, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm surrounded by people all emitting their mouth germs all the time, and like, you know, maybe one of them has the flu or something, and right now I'm being infected and I just don't know it. It's very rare that it happens to me, but like I can see how being like germophobic is like horrifying for that reason, that like you feel like you're at risk. And what is it called? Hypochondria. If you genuinely do believe that you're exposed to all this illness every single day, it's like, yeah, of course at some point you're going to believe that you have it, because why wouldn't you? It's all that you see, all that you get the point? Like I don't know what's called the opposite of the placebo effect, when you think you have something bad. But it's like when someone, the whole gluten-free movement. By the way, there are people who actually have celiac, so sorry if I'm inadvertently criticizing you. But a lot of people are like, yeah, gluten like weighs down my stomach. I think I really need to go gluten-free, man. And it's all placebo, but like placebo is like fine. You know, like it's only medicine where we scoff at it, because we use placebo for all sorts of other things in our life. Like, oh yeah, how am I gonna work out? I guess placebo is not even the right word for it, right? But we use anecdotal evidence for like, oh, I'm gonna buy myself a new, I don't know, e-bike right now. I'm not gonna look into what is the best ratio of, I don't know, like watt hours per pound spent. I'm gonna look into like, okay, what feels the best according to some weird people. Because feelings are reelings. It's a weird one to admit if you like to be a big data person, and I'm a big data person. Most people don't even know what gluten is. It's the stuff that makes bread stretchy. Yeah, you don't realize how much you love gluten until you try gluten-free products and realize, oh yeah, life is impossibly sad without this. I would like to go back. I would like the gluten back, please. There's a lot of things. Also, who else watched the most recent video today too, says Ethan Henning. Thank you for choosing to do so. Whenever there's a news cycle, it's one of the few things that like reliably does slightly better. You know, like I don't know, it's been a bad time for views on the main channel. It's like and you know, like I don't know, I was already planning on taking some form of September break, but it's like, can you really do that in the current situation? And so that's why it's cool to have like a little uplifting event. Most sad part of the gluten-free diet is no beer. They sell gluten-free beers now, if I'm not mistaken. Which, honestly, you know, I've had this. I'll say it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Beer is one of the saddest beverages in existence, and I know that people must like it because feelings are reelings. But like to me, that's when I hear that someone genuinely likes beer, I have this instinct reaction that people have when they hear people are taking horse dewormer or whatever. I named my pickaxe after you, Toycat, equals yes, stay pimp. Thank you so much for telling me to stay pimp, and thank you so. And you know what? I will in fact do so just for you. By the way, I decided to confirm the change that we decided in chat. I have on the wheel of Toycat right here. Oh, did I hit the right button? Huh. The wheel of Toycat is not working. I wonder why not. Okay, so I must have broken something at some point. Well, you know, that's a problem. I guess I can just like, here is the wheel of Toycat. It has an option that is make a sign out of your name, and I was doing real life signs, but it will be a Minecraft sign that will permanently be on this, the Let's Play World. Which, side note, is going. The newest version is going to be available, which is like the July version because of how long it took Minecraft to review it. It'll be available super soon, like incredibly soon, like so soon you don't even know it. And by that I mean tomorrow. So yeah, if you want to have a permanent sign in the world, if you become a member and bring us very slightly closer to our goal, you can help make that true. I'm underage, but beer honestly seems disgusting. Lol, says Emmett's Pets. I'm just saying, there's a reason we never use hops to flavor any. Oh wait, I needed to get sponges. There's a reason we don't use hops to flavor anything but this one beverage, which coincidentally was one of the first. Ways we ever devised alcohol. So people are like, oh, this tastes terrible, but I do feel good when I drink it. And then they've stuck to that ever since. And like again, I feel like to to say that we do terrible things is like underplaying the value of culture and humans like things that have been done by the humans before us. There's something about I don't know, rituals that people just really value, you know? Like again, like how do you really want to take some effective medicine, or do you want to do this thing that people have done for centuries and been fine with, you know? I'm underage and I drank beer and it was actually cold beer. Also, to answer your question, yes, I am an actual correction officer for the local county by me. It works by being sleep deprived and stressed 90% of the time. I wonder what you know, again, I'm not familiar enough with because like a county is a really big area. I know it can be a small area. Like I would be willing to bet, because that's like that's a huge thing, is like, you know, it's got to be like a medium-sized county, like 100,000 people or something. But you can get like 5 million people in one county. Are you the correction officer for LA County? If so, it could be big, right? Anyway, so archaeology is a waste of time. I think it's sad we're probably not going to see archaeology in the 1 point. Like I reckon it's one of the things we won't hear from in the update tomorrow, in the thing tomorrow, whatever we're going to call it. And that's a tragedy, really. Drinking nearly killed me 8 months ago. I've been sober since then. Congratulations. I think not enough emphasis is paid. Like, so a lot of times, especially with like, I don't know, harmful things, we're like, yeah, everyone just do the harmful thing. It's like expected of you. Not enough the time do we appreciate the like, a big move, a big like thing you have to be able to do is know when something is harmful and know that you need to like reduce that down or like cut it out, or you know, like redefine your relationship with the thing. Hooray on being sober, genuinely an achievement. Yeah, it's like it's one of those things, because like if you don't ever get into a problem, I think there's this like condescension attitude of society of like, well, I never got an alcohol problem, so you getting one and then undoing it is actually less impressive than me. And they're, you know, like on some objective level, probably right? But it's like, oh yeah, but you know, assuming there's this fun problem that everything in the whole world has this, like our very definition of like anything politics related is like, where do you draw the line? When does this start, you know? Because, also, hi to Cat, first stream I'm not working for in a while. I play, like as in he's working in other streams, but not this one. Thank you for taking your Thursday off for me. I know you didn't take it off just for me, but thank you for doing it anyway. Even if it's not true, I'm going to believe it's true, and I'm going to feel good about it. Also, I play Java and I massacre on my salmon because they're not big salmon. Small salmon are no. You know, it'd be fine if they were small salmon, but because you're playing Java, they're actually medium salmon, which is it's the most disappointing. Like, who can live with salmon of non-specific sizes? The answer is no one should have to, but Java players are forced to every single day, and that's the horror we inflict on people by not having crossplay. Anyway, so it's a lot harder to get out of an addiction instead of into one. Do you know what? I know I always have to be cautious, because like someone's gonna be like, oh, you play a kid's game, so if you talk about this, you know, like there's certain, like I could never come out and be like, actually, addiction's a good thing. Get addicted to everything, kids. You know, like even though I'm not talking to children as my primary audience, people love to make this straw man of like, ooh, the rest of your audience is children. Not me, of course. Me, I'm not a child, but everyone else that watches you is, and so you better be cautious for them. I do think that like if you're not a naturally addictive person, I think there are lots of addictions that are hard to get into. Like also Cheese Guard, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. In fact, the 336th channel member. Would you like a spin on the wheel of Toycat? Okay, so I'm gonna bring it. Wait, I'll just put it behind. You know, why is it not here the whole time anyway? Isn't that fun? Okay, wait, is this fun? Yeah, I'll just have the wheel of Toycat be behind. It looks kind of messy. I'll put it like there, so you can no, a little bit further that way. There we go. Okay, let's spin the wheel of Toycat. Oh, it looks cooler in this cam. Oh god, I knocked over my chair. It landed on spin again, which I was about to do anyway. Like, look at how it's barely leaning over the spin again instead of do your accent. Okay, let's go. What's the Wheel of Toycat gonna have today? It could be anything. But it's, please not the pickle juice shop. Please not the, no. Ooh, it's tell a story. Thank God, you can see how it's right on the line there. that was a scary possibility. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm doing it now because of the wheel. I'm not doing it because I'm trying to get children addicted to things. Because, you know, again, everyone who watches any Minecraft videos are children, except for the person who posits that everyone watching the videos are children. That's how it works. As a teenager, I wasn't trying to get addicted, necessarily, but I had a ton of friends who were genuinely addicted to nicotine. And that's, you know, for those unaware, that is smoking, tobacco. PS4 Legacy has Big Salmon. Oh, does it really? You know, just a reminder that 4J know what they're doing when they're making Minecraft. I'm gonna put the sponges in there, I guess. Yeah, 4J know what's up when it comes to making Minecraft, right? So I made you look. I wonder what you made me look for. So yeah, I think I used to have a ton of friends who were addicted to cigarette smoking. And I used to think, like, man, this is dumb. I don't even, like, you know, I never thought that it was cool. But I was always like, you know, it seems like it's genuinely a hassle to get addicted. And I remember I kept, like, a count of, like, okay, I'm gonna, like, I don't want to get addicted, but I want to get to the phase where this feels good, at least. Where I can be like, oh, yes, something I would like right now. I'm not gonna do it, but I would like it if I could put some of this poisonous smoke into my lungs. And I tried, like, relatively hard. You know, like, this is, like, my experience trying, like, cigarettes is, like, oh, they are beyond terrible, and people are paying so much money, like, it's proof that, like, there is a certain number, like, in the modern age, like, if you got in smoking when people thought it was healthy, maybe I can understand, you know, some doctors would say it was better for your health to smoke than not to smoke. Sure, if you made a health mistake getting into something terrible, but, like, it's so terrible trying to smoke now. Also, QT1314 says, haven't visited the stream in a while, here's my ToyCat tax. You're the best to listen to while doing homework. I love you. Thank you, QT314, very much for the tip. See, you know what? This is, it's very fun of you. It's exactly the opposite of the point I'm making about. You know, maybe everyone who does watch me is in an age where they're watching homework. But yeah, it's, it was horrible. I kept track of every single time I tried a cigarette too, because I was like, okay, there's got to be a number where you're like, okay, now this is enjoyable. But I think it must have been like 30 or 50 separate attempts when I was like, okay, never again. Even when it's super social and it's being offered up by people around you, I'm gonna just pretend to do it. You know, if there was ever that situation, it hasn't come up in years, just to clarify. Like, it's not like you're always being offered cigarettes as an adult. But it's like, this is so expensive and it's so bad, and like, not just like in terms of like long term, but like short term too. If you're into smoking, it's actively, you know, it's like people say like they're addicted to I don't know, like self-harm, and it's like, well, psychologically yes, but it's the same thing if like no one's ever, you know, I don't know. I think there's a very interesting we use addiction to describe lots of different things, and it probably is unhelpful for helping people realize what it is. And so long story short, not only by the way, smoking smells so bad, you're right, Michaela, isn't cheese addiction? Yeah, okay, so cheese isn't a harmless addiction. When I eat too much cheese, it definitely messes up my innards. I'm not sure, actually definitely is the wrong word, but I'm moderately sure it must. Yeah, right, okay, now we're gonna do the next slide down, by the way. It's just, I don't know, it's intense to me that there is this dichotomy. Like, we mix up lots of different things that are vaguely addictive, and then there are some things which are clearly in the same spectrum, which we don't call addictive. I will die on this hill that, like, food is an addiction. I'm 100%, like, I've been convinced in the morning some days, you know, especially if I'm trying to be healthier or lose some weight, like, I will not eat. You know, not I will not eat, but like, I will eat good food. I'm gonna eat this for breakfast, this for lunch, this, etc. And then, like, I get hungry, and my brain just basically reprograms itself and goes, nah, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a pizza. And I'm like, yeah, a pizza would be good right now. You know, a pizza would solve most of life's problems for me. And then I eat the pizza and I'm like, oh, damn it, I got tricked again. You know, whereas I've never had that for, you know, cigarettes or alcohol or something. I smoked for years and then quit with cig/e-vaping. Been addicted to vaping for roughly 10 years now, FML. See, at the very least though, you're not ruining society with your vaping. I mean, like, it might have some long-term health effects. In fact, it's likely that it will have something wrong. But cigarette smoke is so terrible. Like, every time I pass someone that's smoking, I'm like, how are you just allowed to ruin my life like this? And, like, you're ruining your life, and you're mildly inconveniencing mine. But, like, I'm me, so I care much more about inconveniencing me, you know? But yeah, like, I think the real definition of addiction, because we tried to use lots of different things, but it's like, it's not addicting until it's changing your behavior. Man, my stream is still having... I can't tell you about how... Like, I've got a 2080 Ti and an Intel Extreme Edition processor. I have everything I need to be able to stream. And then I'm streaming Minecraft in super low settings, and we're still getting like issues. And it's like I don't even know at this point. Like, what do you do? How can you even, you know? My college banned tobacco on campus last year, and a bunch of people got mad about it because they said they were being discriminated against. Again, it's a really great... Here's the problem with this. It's a really great move for the future to make tobacco hard to get, and a really terrible move for the present. If you look at Australia, Australia has, I think, the highest tobacco taxes anywhere in the world. Like, it costs like 4 times the price that it does in the United States to get a pack of cigarettes in Australia. And so very few people get into smoking. But the people that are into smoking are very poor because they've spent so much money, like 20 Australian dollars is what I heard, 22 Australian dollars for a pack. And then you're taking addicted people and you're using them to make money. The government is taxing it, so they're getting that money. My bank thought that's a super chat was a suspicious activity, says Cheese God. You know what? It was very suspicious, I do have to say. Also, I think I broke a block and I don't have a replacement. Oopsie. Oh my goodness, you're treating us to 2 live streams in a row. I can't miss the Thursday live stream. No, yesterday's live stream I felt bad about when I was done, because I was like, well, I got so tired. I wasn't saying anything interesting. I was barely even saying things that were coherent sentences. I miss the old days when a 480p on a 5-inch screen looked as good as the TV. Oh, it still does. So many people I've met, like, this is my version. I'm gonna say this all stream long. This is my version of the I take horse dewormer to cure my viral disease. People who genuinely insist, like, they're like, yeah, I can only really watch videos in 1080p or 4K on my phone. It's like, no, if your network switched you down to 480p, there's a decent chance you wouldn't notice for most videos. Because it's mostly about the bitrate, not about the resolution. But whatever, anyway, addictions usually come from dysfunctional dopamine receptors. Becomes a bad cycle because nothing else can give the same amount of dopamine. Yeah, it is, that is totally the, what it is, right? There is we all have things inside of us that make us decide to do things or not to do things. And it's basically the happiness receptor, you know, the dopamine thing. And when that rewards things in the wrong way, you can end up going to some bad places, right? And I guess the simplest way you got to get past that, like, this is why this is the big debate on motivation versus discipline. Motivation is feeling like you want to do something in the moment. Like, I want to eat some cheese because I have a cheese addiction. But I know I should, you know, I know what I should be doing is not eating cheese because cheese is bad for me probably. And so, yeah, you know, motivation is being able to be like, I'm not going to eat cheese. I'm going to overpower that will. Whereas discipline is being able to be like, what I do every single day is I don't eat the cheese. I eat the bread without the cheese or whatever. You know, one of the hardest things, let me talk about my dumbest thing. I will also, Toycat, keep up the good work. It's raw, by the way, says Zach. Raw. Raw. I know that. I'm being overly dramatic. But you know, that's my life. No, not the bread. Oh yeah, bread is literally poison. I forgot to mention, I don't eat bread because it's literally poisoning your brain. You know, your body is literally being poisoned by that. Also, I'll die on this hill that pipe tobacco is different from cigarette, not addictive. I have a giant Gandalf pipe and it smells so good. I am so glad I don't know you physically. No, I've never tried chewing tobacco. I've heard it's horrific, but again, I've heard that you can take a certain deworming medicine. And I'm gonna get these videos are gonna get in trouble for like COVID reasons. Have you seen when you watch a video, like anything that YouTube gets in trouble with the media, they put these like big warnings on the videos being like, oh yeah, this is, you know, if you want the real information, just go to Wikipedia or whatever else. I was looking the other day at the first lockdown announcement in the UK. So like in March of 2020, the UK was like, we are okay with people getting this thing because clearly at some point they're gonna have to get it. You know, you can't just make a disease magically disappear, and it's better than shutting down society. That was like mid-March 2020. And then like a week after they made that announcement, I don't know, it was like 70 people died, and they're like, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the country into national lockdown. So that's just the background in case you're curious. And so I was watching the video of that because I was kind of curious. I never watched it at the time. I just saw, like, you know, I didn't want to. Like, I don't find that sort of thing that interesting in the moment. Because, again, it's mostly going to be waffle and, like, political, like, ooh, we don't want to do this, but we're doing it anyway. You know, we had no choice but to do the thing that we're doing right now. Anyway, so, I went back and I watched it, and there was a big disclaimer on the video saying, fact-checked, the lockdown began on this date, even though it was announced a week earlier. It's like, why did that need fact-checking? Who was, like, suspicious of that one? Lockdown happened the day before my birthday, like, come on. Yeah, it was wacky watching the video, because they're like, okay, so we're going to take 3 weeks, we're going to flatten the number of cases, and then it's all going to be good. And it's like, when did it end? Like, July 2021. And it's like, I feel like that might have been more than 3 weeks. I don't know for sure. But I was watching it back just because I was curious. And yeah, it's this weird thing about, like, I feel like even if I was like making a video that has to like get something like that added, just makes you look like a crazy person. So I'm gonna calm my jokes about taking you know what? I'm gonna go back to the whole thing of like, it's dumb. But people do dumb things all the time. And I think sometimes like people don't realize how much of society is dumb. And like maybe it breaks you when you realize like, oh, these people doing the dumb wacky things can be doyers and loctors, you know, doyers and loctors, my two favorite professions. You know, if you've ever actually dealt with a lawyer and you're not rich, maybe if you're rich it's different. I'm just gonna guess that it is. Have you ever dealt with a lawyer? You'll realize that like we have this like view in society that they're like incredibly hardworking, competent people. Oh, you see that, by the way? That was my mouse being an insanity. Ignorance is unfortunate. It is, indeed, right? Indeed. But yeah, if you've ever dealt with a lawyer, so I dealt with a conveyancer, solicitor, and I have a friend who's dealing with a civil claim, something like that. So it's hilarious that again, like you pay this person 4 digits, and you always assume like, okay, well, you know, when you pay big money, you get big results. You know, like when you're paying someone minimum wage, like I don't know what example of someone you're paying minimum wage, you expect them to like vaguely do the thing. When you pay someone like a lot, you're like, well, you're getting their knowledge and their experience and their understanding and like. You know, that's why some people can make... Like, a plumber is making 100 quid an hour, not because he's doing 100 quid worth of stuff, but because he knows 100 pounds worth of stuff. My bank has now blocked YouTube purchases. I disagree based on your super chat going through. Yeah, it's always interesting that you're like, oh no, this is someone who puts things off until they get another email, and then they're like, oh yeah, I've been on this the whole time. You know, can I, okay. This is fine, because again, this is someone who I'm not paying, they're just an employee for a place. I'm getting a new bathroom, designed? Installed? I don't know what the word is. But I'm having a new bathroom put in, there we go. And, So there's this woman. I did the really cool thing where you look at your bathroom in VR. I thought that was amazing. It was the future. And the employee is like, oh yeah, so you live there? It's funny, like, I mentioned this yesterday, and I always want to mention this in the realm of Ralph, like, or in the realm of wealth, that like, I am objectively by worldwide. You know, if you're watching this, you're objectively by worldwide standards wealthy. It's interesting because like you're like, oh yeah, I made this big purchase in 20, 30 years. I will own a thing that is worth, you know, most of $1 million, if not more than $1 million. Wow, how crazy. That's a house I'm talking about in case you missed it. I just moved house. Here's my new house. I've got a wheel. If I show you behind the green screen, it looks different now. You want to see this? I don't know. There we go. Look at that. Look, there's like I've got a room with a door. Did I have a door before? I didn't have a door before. I'm living in the future and it's amazing. Toycat is the 1% in Minecraft. And so yeah, it's like I'm like really, what's the word, like self-actualized. I feel all my dreams as a child of being not poor have come true. But I was at the bathroom appointment because it was apparently a nice place. They're like, ooh, that's near. I can't tell you where it's near, but like, they're like, it's there. Ooh, you know, they were like, they were shocked, I guess. Like, oh yeah, that's we don't really go near that area. Again, like it's like 4 miles away from their thing. They're like, we don't really go there, but like we'll find someone who will. And anyway, so she had to like find a new, because they work with specific builders or whatever. That she had to find someone new and do it. And it was fine. It was like, yep, I'll get it done this week. And so at the end of the week, I was like, hey, how's it going? And I just got like a default, I'm sick. So then 2 weeks later, I'm like, hey, just wanted to check how this was going. Not trying to rush you, but you know, it's been a little longer than you said. And she was like, oh yeah, funnily enough, I was just about to do it. And then like half an hour later, I got a message through. The same thing happened with, I'm currently working on like the biggest contract that I probably will have to sign in a very long time, like in terms of like the payoffs and all the other things. And so yeah, I sent them, like, they were meant to do something on Monday. I was like, oh wait, you know, it was a bank holiday. Tuesday, you're not there to recover from the bank holiday. On Wednesday, I'm like, hey, how about this? And they're like, I was just writing you the email right now, actually. And it's like, at what point do you not believe people? But yeah, there's a lot of like chasing people, and then people go, oh god, I forgot about the thing because I only deal with things as and when. What is attacking me right now? Oh god, how? Oh, he took a gravel block from over there, it looks like, and he caused so much havoc. Felt your happiness about the door. Didn't get my first one till college, and I was so happy. Yeah, you see that? I own a door now, people. You have a door? I bet you don't have a door. I bet you have 0 doors in your life, and you're missing out, let me tell you. If I want people to come in, I open the door. I want people not to come in, the door's shut, like it is right now. Oh, even crazier than that, I have like a window and everything. I'm living in a insanity fantasy land. Yeah, I also thank you very much, QT314. It's good to see you once more. Ooh, that rhymed. I like that. Hey Toycat, not sure if you've had a great day. Wait, no, hope you've had a great day. You know, I guess you technically also weren't sure if I had a great day. And now you can be sure I have in fact had a great day. So let's use this one. I can confirm officially now I've had a great day. Thank you for asking. A window tool. You have walls. You know what? Walls, eventually I'm gonna have walls. One day, I'm gonna live in a world where I own walls. I think though, also, is there anything you'd like to see in 1.19? I would love another cave update. That's all I want. Why are we talking about other things like they're as important as a second cave update? But more importantly than a second cave update, which is still definitely the dream. I feel like 1.19 is an opportunity, in my opinion, to redo some structures. I think Minecraft has a ton of structures that don't perfectly fit together. You know, they've been designed over such a long time period. Stuff like the Nether Fortress, it's like, this is so overdue for a revamp. And again, like, it's fine to just, like, leave it for a bit, I guess. Like, you know, we can leave everything for a bit. We can always come back to it. But yeah, also to donate to Toycat's Wolf Fund, use the Streamlabs link in the description. Thank you very much, Cat Beanie. Thank you very much. Always listen. You know, if the name is Cat, you know it's a smart place to be. There are no doors in my house. Yeah, doors are a luxury. You know, here's a crazy thing. This sounds like I'm making a joke, but doors at one point actually were like a genuine luxury. Like, this is one of those like weird, if you're a prude kind of things. Like, for most of human history, like, you lived in one room. Like, your whole family lived in one room. You slept in that room, you cooked in that room, you ate in that room. That's why you needed chimney. That's why you needed... Anyway, so, like, I'd say you always went outside to use the bathroom, or maybe you had an outhouse if you were fancy. But it's never, like, the default being, oh yeah, of course you have, like, X number of rooms, is like a very, very new thing, historically speaking. But the bit that's really quirky about it is like, oh yeah, so, but if you all lived in the same room, how would the parents conceive the children? As like, all in the same room, and just different attitudes. Like, I didn't know this till recently, that like, and it's one of those things that like, the idea of like being private when you use the bathroom is a very recent idea too. Like, why would you care if people see you when you're pooping, you know? Like, why does it matter to you if someone can see you? Like, you know, even the United States to this day has gaps like this big under the stools, and you just look each other in the eye while you go for a number two, and that's just the culture there. That is just how people do it. And so it's very interesting to me that, like, you know, I need absolute privacy, or I literally, my body cannot do it doesn't like do things. Like, if I'm at a urinal and a guy goes at the urinal next to me, I'm like, well, I can't do this now. If I, you know, I have to like, and then I also know there's a clock starting. If I'm not, you know, if I'm not done here in 30 seconds, he's gonna be like, why is he just standing there, like, with his, you know, like, is he just playing with, what's going on there? This is, and it's like, I'm just trying and I can't do it because there's a person. Like, I can't pee under pressure, and it's terrible. It's a whole disaster. Did you go to uni, Toycat? I did not go to uni, which makes me objectively not smart. But yeah, speaking of people who aren't objectively smart, I wanted to dive into the next comment. You know, by the way, Percy Jackson, underappreciated name. But thank you very much, QT314 again, for the tip, because she, I'm guessing from the previous one, says, American bathroom stalls are ridiculous. The stalls in my dorm don't lock, and you can stick your whole arm in the gaps on the side of the door. See, supposedly there's some logic of like, oh, we don't want people doing drugs in there, so we're gonna make the stool gaps really big, and if someone's doing drugs, we'd see them. You know, I guess, you know, there's something going on in there. Oh, I'm excited, we got a new member. Again, every time we get a new member, we spin the wheel. It's very exciting. Yeah, and there's a lot of fun options on there. I even have the pickle juice, just in case, you know, life goes terribly. And it does tend to. Hey, thank you, Rain Johns, for becoming a channel member. Welcome to the Cool Cat Club. You know what that means? Becoming the 337th. By the way, we're just 13 members away from our big goal. And you know what happens at the big goal? You probably don't, and that's fine. You know what happens at the big goal? Oh wait, you know what happens with just one member up? We spin the Toycat wheel, and you know what happens? I don't know what happens because I'm not from the. No. Okay, we got 2 jumping jacks. Okay, I'm gonna go for once because I've got the green screen down. Oh, I've left the chroma key on, so everything's going weird. My bad. Let me just fix that. Let me just turn that. Ooh, look how much nicer it looks now. See, I've got lighting and everything. Wait, do you want to see something even crazier than this? I'm gonna go stand in the paranoia house. Oh wait, I can finally eat some of the cake that needs to be eaten. There we go. Doing my bit to make the world a better place. Okay, let's go inside. Let's see if this is really safe. If it's not, I guess we'll find out because something bad happens. Okay, so get this, chat. I now have a light on the other side of this door too. So you see how it's dark in there? Whoa, look how much light I own. You want to help pay the lighting bills? Okay, 2 jumping jacks. I'll do it. Oh, you actually can't. I have to like do it awkwardly sideways or something. Okay, I'll just. There we go. Ugh. It's a super low ceiling actually. Even at like, there's one point in the ceiling that's flat, and the rest it's like slanted here. And I don't think you can see either the slants. It looks like I'm just in a normal room right now. That's good. That's all I want. Yeah, definitely should move that somewhere further away, or leave it in the shop. Why not, you know? Welcome to fast mode, cheese guard. Anyway, oh, I should have gone to sleep while I was there, huh? You know, let's go back up to sleep. If we're here anyway, why not, you know? Why not? Everybody in the future is going to tell their children they survived the pandemic. I genuinely believe that, like, even now, it's been a year. It's just going to be a blip. Because, like, if life suddenly went back to normal, you'd be like, oh, that was wacky. But because life's slowly going to return back to normal, there's going to be a new normal that's very slightly different than the old one. It's just going to be seen as, like, a natural event. Like, no one ever goes, I survived being a teenager. Even though being a teenager is, like, one of the most tumultuous... Ruptuous? Is that a word? It's a crazy period in your life, right? Like, things are changing around you all the time. Every day is insanity. I was thinking about something, actually. Even though I think you totally can make friends as an adult, something that's, like, way harder... it is way harder to make friends when you're, like, older than when you're not. Right? Like, there's just a certain challenge you're overcoming the whole time. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm all in my head about that. But I hate that it's still going through there. Okay, I'll just place that there. And if it tries to go past, it can't. Okay, yeah, it still can. So we put one there too. There we go. Problem solved for now. But I had so much fun as a teenager, I miss as Crocodile. See, that's interesting. I feel like most people are in the opposite boat with that, where they're like, oh yes. Not again, please. I don't want a second ride on being a teenager. I think, okay, you know, one of those, like, weird thoughts I've had is, like, if you could go back and be a teenager with the knowledge you had now, like, life would be so much easier, right? Like, all of these big struggles you have, you could be like, I know it means literally nothing. Like, there is, you know what's important and what's not. And you know that, like, I know, knowing that, like, everyone else is also in the same boat of, like, fear and, you know, whatever, it's a whole thing. Like, if you understand most things better from the outside. But so something I'm not on the outside. How did water manage to get through anyway? I am just having not a great time here today. Anyway, so is it harder? It's harder because you meet less people in a friendly environment. Yeah, it's something like that. But so yeah, I followed some advice of people on the internet. I had a real friend that basically said the same thing too. That's like, yeah, I have a friend that genuinely doesn't show up 75% of the time. And it's not that he just can't show up, because that's fine. People have busy lives. He says he's going to show up, and then he doesn't. And if he if he does mention it, it's at the last minute. And he'll stick to the fact that he's coming till way too late. And like, you know what? He burned one too many bridges with me, I think. Rather than being dramatic and like high school about it, I was like, you know, just don't, invite him to fewer things is the easy solution there, right? Like, he can ask, and I will tell him about what's going on, but he's not going to be in my invite pool for default stuff. And so obviously the only problem is like, well, a lot of your friends are like a two-way relationship. It's they get benefit from you, but you also get benefit from them, and like like them showing up is important, and blah blah blah. And so it's like, okay, so you got to have like a replacement roster friend, like, oh, if I have space for 4 friends in my life, and I've cut one, then now I have space for another, It's, I don't know what the actual number would be. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, okay, so you gotta find, and it's like the easiest way to find friends is just like, oh yeah, already be friends with them, and then make the friendship stronger. And it's like, okay, because I've been thinking for a while anyway, I need to find friends that live in London. Most of my friends do not live in London. They live out in the suburbs. And that's like fine for like once a week friends. But I need like a friend who can be like available at a moment's notice. Or not at a moment's notice, but like, like, oh yeah, you want to do this thing tonight? Rather than like, want to do this thing a week from now and you can come over here. And I haven't had friends for 2 years and I don't remember how to make them, says Kawaii Kate. You know what, Kawaii Kate, here's how you make friends. You say, hey, does anyone else here like anchovies? Because I certainly do. And then when someone says, yes, I do like anchovies, say, psych, I actually don't like anchovies. That's why we'd be perfect friends. Because then when I have anchovies, you can eat the anchovies. And then they go, you know what? I would like more anchovies in my life. Boom. You're welcome. I've solved friendship. How many close friends do you think a person can have? I'm flawed. Yeah, okay, can I, this sounds like a joke, maybe, or like something. I'm genuinely, I'm pained when I see groups of like, when I see a group that has 10 people, I'm like, no. I saw a group of what looked like 15 friends, and I was like, my brain was breaking down from the inside, which isn't a normal thing. Also, Kawaii Kate says, I see, thank you, Toycat. Lol, you're welcome. I have solved friendship for you. No, more seriously, I think I'm lucky that like I have like my climbing, my bouldering hobby, I guess. I'm like, if I was trying to find friends, I'd find someone else who was solo and I'd speak to them. You know, that was a problem. I was thinking, there was I went to bouldering by myself at like 10 a.m. Which I figured like, you know what? That's how you find someone who, 10 a.m. on a weekday. That's someone who doesn't have a job holding them down, right? But which is why I'm mean and don't have friends. There's someone who has like a flexible schedule like me, is what I'm trying to say. So there was like a person by themselves, but it was like, that's like a, like you don't want to be. There's this funny thing. Even if you're just trying to like, make a friend, if it's like, but that's opposite gender, sex, whichever one is non-offensive. If I like try to be friendly and they don't want it, they're gonna tell this story about how the creep at the bouldering place was like, ooh, he was like being a little too friendly with me, And it's like that, but like that's how you make friends. Anyway, so long story short, I was like down. You couldn't just be have the opposite, dangling bits under your waist, right? Couldn't have just done that to save me some effort. And the answer is no, they couldn't have. And that was very selfish. Very selfish of all women out there, really. Feels a bit odd, yeah, and stigma. Like the reality is like when you're like, you could just be like, yeah, I'm gonna get past this, but then like that makes more of the creepy guy story, which makes this, it's like a self-fulfilling cycle. Like in reality, you just shouldn't care about it. But I was like, I also, I'm on the internet, right? If people can hold all sorts of weird things against me. And it doesn't even work that way, right? The way it works is people have some minor grudge, and then if something ever comes out, like if I'm ever in the news, they're like, I always did dislike him for this thing. That's how we do with most of our like vibes, right? If you don't like someone, and then for an entirely unrelated reason, something terrible comes out about them, like I don't know, they had something. They committed a mass murder. You're like, I never did like him, as if like it's a totally valid thing. Or like, ooh, you know what? I've told this story before, but I still find it like genuinely hilarious. I have a Minecraft, not a friend, I met a Minecraft YouTuber at an event. My husband's so sociable, he can literally make friends with anyone, and I'm just sitting here like, what black magic crap is this? Yeah, it's one of those skills I'm trying to... I love the art of making temporary friends. Like, I'm in a lot of situations where I'm by myself, and I want 10 minutes of friendship for the day. But it's like, that's hard to find. And there's a few like shortcuts around it. But I'd love to be like, oh yeah, person also here. Like on a ski lift is like a good opportunity for that, because you're about to ski off for the rest of the day. I once met an old woman when I was in Utah, and she's like, oh, you've never skied in She said, like, powder, I think it was. And I was like, no, I genuinely don't know what powder is. I taught myself to ski. I don't know any of this. She's like, let me take you to some powder. And I was like, okay, then. And it was just really thick snow I kept falling into. And it's like that thick. So you fall in and you're like, your whole body is enclosed. But your feet are still in your skis because, like, it's not enough pressure to pick you up. And I was like, I just kept falling over. And I was like, oh, why did I let you do this to me? I can't even walk down the hill. It's so steep. Powder. Old woman taps on her nose. Just start talking geopolitics to random people, says Michaela. See, right, that is one of my interests. How do you... That's, the weirder your interests get, the harder it can feel to find someone who has those same interests. But that's why it's worth doing. Or maybe it's why it's not worth doing. Maybe you should just give up and conclude you're never going to make another friend again. But yeah, by the way, we're making good progress. I feel like we might get this whole little section done today if we believe in ourselves. And you know, I do believe in myself. Yeah, I don't know, I've been thinking about that today because it's a problem that I have. I wanted to talk about something actually. I thought, because it goes back to that same problem we have in society of like, where do you draw the line? You know, if you wanted to correct every injustice in the world, you'd have to go like very far back because like everything has ripple effects, etc., etc. Like even one that I think about a lot is so the last country on Earth, right? I think it's Algeria. I could be wrong, but I think Algeria just ended their use of leaded fuels. So fuel with lead in. I don't know why lead was ever in fuel in the first place, but leaded fuels have like huge concerns for air quality, and they also make people go. Something about what I wish I could understand what it does to people, but it makes people go a little bit nutty, is what I'm saying. And so I think it's interesting because the areas where leaded was more likely to be used is where more car traffic is. And so like there is this injustice that whoever made leaded petrol, if they knew that that was a thing, and even if they didn't, they meant that anyone who lives anywhere near a road, even if they don't drive themselves, have like a much higher susceptibility. Lead poisoning kills brain cells. You can never have too much lead in your fuel. You know, that's why I drive 100% lead fuel. But it's like, yeah, I only just ended literally this week, by the way, leaded fuel around the world. And it's like, yeah, there are people who have fewer brain cells due to no decision they made themselves. And it's like, yeah, how do you that's like a new thing, and like there are obviously much longer examples of like, okay, now if you don't correct that right now, which obviously we can't, like there's no one who can realistically propose, you know, like an easy fix for that, and so it's like now those people's children will be slightly worse off, and then their children's children will like, it'll take a long time to correct itself, you know. There's this like problem that a lot of societal problems have that like, you know, fixing the problem isn't enough for a lot of people because they also want to fix the results of the problem. But it's like, and some people say you should just wait for it to solve it. So it's a very interesting debate that you can have endlessly, I think. But one that I think is hugely fascinating is like when you commit a crime, the crime is already done and committed, right? Like the old lady has had her purse stolen from her. I always need to. Oh no, I've got enough sponges. Probably should put some wet ones away, but I'm not going to. I didn't realize it was called unleaded because the fuel used to have lead in it, says Amanda Reed. Yeah, I didn't know until I was embarrassingly old either. Like I just thought that was like a brand name, like unleaded, you know, like, oh yeah, it's not the leading brand. It's unleaded. But no, yeah, there's literally lead in unleaded thing. Anyway, so yeah, it's like the one that I can't stop thinking about is like, so when you commit a crime, the crime is committed. The woman has the thing, whatever. And so, does punishing you really help anyone? And the answer is no, except in deterring other people to do the same crime. So that's the endless dilemma that like we talk about a billion times on this channel. But what about, right? What about if you commit a crime, a murder, you know, the most heinous of societal crimes. So you commit a murder, and then after committing the murder, you get Alzheimer's, and then you genuinely have no recollection. Honestly, like, memory is a very fuzzy thing, but, like, you probably remember the worst things you've done in your life, I imagine. But, like, you literally don't remember what you've done before. Are you morally responsible for things that you don't remember? I know, I feel like there's a ton of terrible things I've done that I genuinely don't know. Like, you know when someone, like, minorly does a thing and, like, to them it is nothing, but to you it's everything. I'm sure I've done that, but in reverse. At least a few times. Is this a movie or an anime plot or something? No, it'd make a good Black Mirror episode, I bet. Also, thank you, Spaghetti Cats.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Spaghetti Cato, for the $50 tip. Lots of super chats today. Thank you for choosing to do so. Obviously, if you'd like to give 100% to Toycat versus 30% to Susan, there's a link down below. But I'm mostly just appreciative that anyone is generous enough to go that I'm worth any amount of your time and or money. So thank you very much for choosing that. Amnesia can be a response to traumatic events, such as committing severe crime like murder. Held accountable. Yeah, held accountable is maybe the better term than punished, you know? See, that's like a whole dividing line and how we do things too, right? But yeah, there is this philosophical question to me. There is this big thing of like, you know, actually, by the way, this is a Black Mirror episode, I realized. I think it's White Bear. If you haven't watched Black Mirror, always highly recommend. But there's a mother did this terrible thing, like she kidnapped a child and then killed her brutally, and so but they wipe her memory every day, and they make her relive the crime that she committed. You know, basically like her daughter's being kidnapped or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And so like the version of her that's being tortured has no clue about what she's done wrong. She doesn't deserve it, you know, the version that's being tortured. But the actual person is a child murderer, you know, did it for the, you know, for the husband or whatever. Why does he want a little, you know, no one understands that. Why do people do terrible things is a whole interesting debate. But like, should you be held accountable for terrible things you don't know that you did? Because, you know, when it comes to like children, which is always like, it's where you have to start every single justice conversation, right? When it comes to children, you do still, just because a child is like, oh yeah, I didn't know that I left the door open and that's why our dog ran away, you gotta be like, well, the dog ran away. Does it matter that you didn't know why? But also we do have like there are different punishments for crimes when you do and don't know. This is the dilemma of the person who killed Robert F. Kennedy and no one is sure to release him from jail. Oh yeah, I think it's, yeah, no, it is Robert F. I was like, yeah, there was one of there was this guy who killed one of the Kennedys, not JFK. JFK was also assassinated. Very tragic thing. One of the potential future presidents of the United States was murdered by a dude who was just like super, I don't know what the word would be, but super delusional, I guess, would be correct. Anyway, so they're super delusional and it's like, I need to kill this guy. This is how I'll change the world. And now it's like, well, that was 40 years ago. I appreciate I did it. Like, it's definitely me. But also, like he was an 18-year-old, now he's 80. He's like, can I have some freedom in my life? Also, screw Sism, says Diamonds in the Rough. Thank you so much, Diamonds in the Rough, for tipping £10. I appreciate it a lot. I will use that money to buy walls to go along with my doors and my lights and my window. It's going to be delightful. You can't, I actually, you know, it's funny, I actually do need to buy walls. Can I, if you want, like, I'm not going to be able to do it like I have a few walls that I would like to buy. And the prices I'm being quoted for walls are very, very high. But, yeah, it's a thing I'm trying to do. Red like the guy who, yeah, it's a weird thing. Set a reminder for the stream. Here I'm almost an hour late because no reminder was sent. I'm sorry to hear that, Snake King 24. I always recommend, like, set your own reminders on top of, you know, the ones platforms recommend. How do you even go about replacing a wall? Oh, no, it's not actually replacing a wall. Like, I want to... Actually, no, I am replacing a wall now that I think about it. So they're going to build a new... Again, I'm not going to be able to do this for a while because all I want to do is my roof looks like this, and I want to build it like this. And it's £48,000 is what they said. And then I got someone else to come in and they said £51,000. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize the first option was cheap. So yeah, I can't actually afford that. So yeah, I guess my guess is they would build the new wall first and then they'd knock the old one out. I don't know for sure. I really don't know for sure. But yeah, long story short, I don't have, what is that in dollars? Like $70,000 lying around after. That's crazy expensive. I genuinely don't understand how it can be that expensive. Like, I don't know, I don't understand. But you know, there's lots of things I don't understand, and it's fine. Might have a stone pickaxe and place the new wall. Yeah, it feels as though, like, again, I always have this hesitancy in saying I know how to do people's jobs better than them. It's one of the most annoying reactions we have in the world. Like, when someone's like, oh yeah, the reason your YouTube's not doing well is because you're not making videos about Roblox. It's like, thank you for your 2-second insight, person. You changing the roof profile or something? Yeah, it'd be basically like, it's called a dormer, in case you're curious. It's gonna be a whole thing. It'll be £500 material, 49,500 builders loving themselves. If you must move a load-bearing wall, you'd need an engineer/architect steering. Yeah,
Since you need a door, you're gonna need more than 10 pounds, I assume. Smile, hope you get it replaced soon, Toycat. Thanks for the quality content and streams.
Thank you so much, Diamonds in the Rough, for the 50 Great British Pound tip. You hear? Do you know how many pounds 50 is? That's 50 of them. Isn't that insane? So that's like an insane amount of money. That is the largest note we have in our currency, and it's still 0.1% of getting my wall very slightly changed. Also, Jacqueline says I should get an architect's drawing. Yeah, so I knocked down a wall this week without using an architect one, because I was just like, you know what? I'm like 90% this is fine. Sure, this is fine. I think any other walls that I get done, I will definitely actually have a professional come round. Because even though I was sure this one was fine, I was like, it would have been better to just be sure about this. Like, pay someone a couple £100. There's no £100 note, says Michael D. No, yeah, the largest note you get in the UK is 50. And even 50s make people real suspicious. Like, you don't want to actually use a £50 note because you're not going to get anyone to, you know, give you things in exchange for it. Like, you actually can, especially if you're in a big city. But, like, if you go to a corner store out in Scotland, they're not gonna be happy with your £50 note, is what I'm saying. Polygon. I agree. Did you knock the wall down yourself? No, I hired a dude to knock down the wall. And then also to, like, refloor the house and a few other things. Poundland does not accept £50 notes. It's hard to make change if everyone's giving you big bills. Yeah, honestly, I find we have £100 notes. Someone tried to pay everyone when I worked at Game. We couldn't take it because our paperwork didn't have them on it. Oh yeah, I think the way you have to say it is like in wide circulation, because there's like so many weird, like America has a $2 bill. Actually, the $2 bill is the weird example where it is in wide circulation, but people think they're rare and so they don't work. But like, you know, I'm sure there's a £3.50 note or something dumb out there, like that was made at one point. And it's like, the problem though is like, the whole currency system we live on is based on trust. And you can only trust something if you know what it should look like. And if you encounter something for the first time, you don't know what it should look like. Like, I encountered my first £50 note when I was like 22. And so if someone had given that to me in a shop, I'd be like, I'm gonna, you know, I'd have to verify a few times, is what I'm saying. By the way, look at that. Big salmon, small salmon. Yeah, this is why you play Bedrock, everyone in the chat. These are the 2 reasons to play Bedrock, right here. You have 7 gold-looking bars, one's a counterfeit, and which weighs less than the other, which all weigh the same. You have bounce gaze. What's the least number of weighings to find the fake? Oh, it's something interesting like, I bet it's like 2 weighings, right? No, 3 weighings? Yeah, you just, but then there's actually a way where you could cut it down to 2 weighings. Am I correct? Is it 2? 2 is my last answer here. Like, I think 3 logically if I do the maths, but I think it's actually 2. 2 weighings. How do you do 2? I don't know why you're giving me fun trivia problem. 1, you weigh the fake one first. Diluted Dante's got it right. Yeah, I don't know why you give me a logic problem on stream. Like, this is the most boring content for anyone to listen to. People are like, you know what, talk about currency. Or even if you want to talk about the morality of locking people up again, do that. But just stop talking about logic problems I know the answer to. I also ibxtoycat. ibxtoycat from the site. ibxtoycat. Is that what you're going for? I don't know for sure. Fun fact, there is a £5. Yeah, there's always that fun question of which note do you think is most commonly used in the UK? And the answer is actually not the £5, but it's the £20. You didn't have to answer it though. Like, you talk about real life, but I like it. I get that every single day someone finds a stream and they're like, it's wacky how much he talks about real life. And it's like, as opposed, what could anyone talk about Minecraft for 3 hours straight? Maybe we should try. So the gravel block is kind of ugly, huh, fellas? What do you think? Gravel block, ugly though, right? Ugly though. You ever look at concrete and think it could be so much more? I don't know, it could be a sign that I'm like not as passionate as I meant to be. Water looks like water. You're not capable of going 3 hours on a stream without a tangent. That's entirely true. You know, can I tell you something annoying? I was gonna make a 10-hour video this week, and I was like totally committed to doing it, but it took me like 4 hours to make the first 10 minutes, and then like, and long story short, I couldn't actually do it. And I was like, if I'd have just picked anything else to make this 10-hour video on, it would have done better. And I know this week I realized that Minecraft is hard. And so if you ever do see a 10-hour video, just know it actually took me 14 hours, because I'm currently 4 hours in and have 0 hours worth of footage. Life is hard. What's the best way to drain a big pool of water or lava? With water, your life gets easier when you use sponges. With lava, you can either use one of those weird magic redstone machines if you feel like being that type of person. Or you can just use a ton of sand, gravel, whatever else. Dirt's another valid choice. I thought you were going to say it took me 4 hours to make a 10-minute video. You didn't even make it in the end, even after your 1 hour warm-up. It's tragic. I had a multiple, many hour warm-up, and it didn't go well. I'm watching this from a Raspberry Pi 4, not that laggy. I'm proud of your lack of lag. All characters in the show, even those, okay, that's the South Park thing, right? How will the caves and cliffs increasing the world limit affect old worlds, if at all? That's a good question. I'm assuming it just won't. I should check that out right now, actually. That's a really fun question. You know, that's a good Q&A Saturday question right there. Leave it in the comment section so it comes up in a video. Are you going to stream Minecon Live? Yeah, 100%. Minecon Live. I don't know, people always like say like, oh, he looks so bored, when I'm not vigorous reacting like, yes, UN project, oh, that's like, I don't know how to do fake excited reactions about things, but like, the internet needs them from me, like, to not leave comments like that all the time. So I'm gonna have to work that out soon. Don't worry, I'll get there one day. I love the Minecon live streams. Q&A Saturday, that's Sunday Classic. I think it came out on Monday this week, right? Was it Tuesday? No, it was Monday. Have you considered doing another end road type project to fund part of your house wall? I definitely have a limit that I'm so gracious, that's not the word. I'm so grateful that like the biome one went so well. But I know that generosity is not an unlimited quantity. Not an unlimited thing. You know, like, I know that, you know, if I did it too often, it's like milking the cow. I say as I don't milk the cow, but instead murder it. So yeah, I can't thank the internet enough, because the amount, I had to pay, I think it was literally, so in addition to paying a house deposit and solicitor fees, I needed to pay 40-something thousand in taxes up front. And not because I owed 40,000 in taxes, because they'll refund me, you know, the 25 grand of that I don't owe after I sell my other house. Just if you own 2 houses, you pay a lot more tax on the second house in the UK. Which, you know, valid policy, sure. Policy making, keep at it. But I was struck with like a 40 grand. I need to pay it cash this day, or very bad things start to happen to me, Bill. And like there's getting a little help from the internet was very appreciated. Like I think that was like a £1,500 day or something. It got me. It meant I could do that, but also, you know, not feel like my living expenses were suffocating, and that's cool. Can I join the realm you're on at some point tomorrow? If not, please tell me the worst joke you've ever heard. No, and the worst joke I've ever heard. Why did the sea blush? Why did the fish blush? Because the seaweed. Also, hear me out, Big Squid. Thank you very much, Lizzie's. It's good to see you again today. If I didn't say that already. I feel like I didn't. I feel like I have a terrible thing. If you own a second house in Switzerland, live there for over 6 months, you basically have no tax, yay. There's 2 arguments you can have towards something like that, right? One argument is you should be encouraging people to, you want to encourage wealthy people to do more spending. And the other is wealthy people are going to do spending, so we might as well get a lot of money when they do it. And if you have a second house, you're everyone's definition of wealthy. And even, you know, in my case, it's just because I haven't sold the first one until it is, like, it's in dire need of revamping. Like, it's because I'm too poor to revamp it that I haven't sold it. Poor's not the wrong word, but like, you know, it's an interesting difference in logic that you can have. Like, if a lot of people, one of the fundamentals, like taxing, like economics 101, is if you want to encourage a behavior, you give people money to do it. If you want to discourage a behavior, you tax people in exchange for doing so. And so the argument is like, do you want people having second houses or not? And I'd say, like, I guess, I mean, depends on your view of housing, you know? Depends on your view of housing. I hear there are more empty living spaces, second houses, in the US than homeless people. I think, I've heard that statistic too, but it's misleading because there's more, I think it probably is true in the UK. I've heard it for the UK, but I've never seen it verified. It's that problem where, like, there are so many empty houses in places, you know, like, most homelessness is in very high cost of living areas. Cities, let's just say New York and LA. And it's like, you can't solve that problem with a, oops, now you know where Pigstep is if you download the map. You can't solve that problem with a, oh, okay. You can't solve that problem with a house in Wyoming, right? Like, you wouldn't fix a homelessness like, if you are homeless, you wouldn't be like, oh, well, I guess I can move to Wyoming and then I will have a house. It's like, I know there's an interesting thing. Like, it's an interesting debate about, like, if you have, you know, like, you know, I'm not gonna dive into it. I'm not gonna poke the bear on the homelessness issue. Toycat, do you remember the 4 YouTubers versus 4 J Studios minigame showdown 2016? I was just rewatching them and they are damn nostalgic. I remember I felt a lot of pressure. Like, okay, this is like a big moment for the whole community. I have to do well or I'll look like an idiot forever. And I remember not doing particularly well. Except in Glide, I think I did pretty well in Glide. Like, of the YouTubers, I might have done the best. But, like, we got demolished by 4J on that one. I thought it was it was such a different community atmosphere, and I miss it so bad. But, like, you know, we're probably in a better time. There's a housing crisis in the UK, but 268,000 homes have been empty for at least 6 months. People don't live in one of these houses, they want to live somewhere like London. Yeah, there's a lot of those houses are holiday homes, right? I can't imagine what it's like to have a holiday home that you leave empty 9 months in the year and feel okay about, but it's a thing that we do have in existence. And it's like, yeah, it's the problem. People want to live in London. The question is, like, do you get to decide where you want to live and ignore the financial consequences, you know? Like, living in London is more expensive than living in, you know, Davenport. Where is Davenport? I don't know. I'm assuming it's by the sea because it's got port in the name. You know, like, do you have the right to live in London, even if, you know, if you do not have the money to do so? And when you put it that way, it's like, well, that seems a bit different, doesn't it? And then if you say something like, well, these people have family there, it's like, so if you don't have family there, do you not have the right to? You know, are you voluntarily something or other? And it's like, yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's hard to get out. It's like, what if you get offered a train ticket? And people see that as like the most barbaric policy of like, instead of solving homeless, like the American version is they buy people from, you know, bus tickets to California, and so they can just move their homeless problem away, right? It's a whole fascinating thing. Also, Toycat looking kind of fresh today. Thank you. Where am I? It's the lack of green screen. Thank you. I know. No, yesterday I had like this is one of those things I want to get better at ignoring because it has nothing to do with my actual effort. But yesterday I had a lot of comments being like, "Ooh, why does his hair look like that all the time? Like, what's wrong with it?" And then I didn't wash my hair today in the shower. I'm starting showering only every 2. I've been showering quite like for the last 6 months or so, only every 2 days because apparently, not showering. I've been showering every day. I've been washing my hair only every other day because apparently you drain the oils or something worse. And so now when I do wash it, I'm like, ooh, it feels different. But the internet always criticizes it when it's clean. And then today I got a compliment when it's objectively it's least clean in the cycle because tomorrow morning it's going to be washed again. Whatever, you know. Thank you, internet. Welcome to personal hygiene with Toycat. There's so many aspects of personal hygiene that sound like the horse dewormer thing, though, right? Like okay, this is my pet peeve. Actually, wait. Do I look particularly acne-ridden right now? Because if I do, no one's gonna take me seriously on this. Like people's advice on acne is so annoying to me because it's like it's not like I've gone through like medical processes for it, right? The only reason that I've taken many things that doctors have prescribed, as well as doing all the generic health routine things. Like people genuinely believe like, oh yeah, it's just eating oily foods and either people say it's like touching your face too much, or it's what's the other one people say, like your pores are clogged up because you're not moisturizing or something. I forget what it is, but look, they'll always give you like something dumb like that, and it's like, yeah, I go to my thing, so that's how you can. Like I remember in school, there were people genuinely disdainful of like, just wash your face, damn it. Like I have to look at that acne because you can't be bothered to wash your face. You know, like your personal, you know, this crisis for you every day is annoying me because I have to look at it. You know, like the view you could, you know, some people have towards those without homes. But it's fascinating because it's like, you know, that doesn't really work that way. And so many parts of it are like that. Like I had I had an ex-girlfriend, and she was like, you have to moisturize. Why are you? I'm so confused by you not moisturizing every day. Like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, it's just not a thing that, you know, you get me. It's like, well, if you don't, then your skin ages 100 times as fast. And I do believe there's like a truth in that like, you do need moisture in your skin, but that probably most people get it naturally. And if you don't get it naturally, you think everyone else needs to get it, you know, the same way you do or whatever. Again, it's like there are whole worlds of like basic personal hygiene that actually vary very much from person to person. I don't know, do you want me to dive into a million more examples? I can. The way that women deal with, you know, yeah, you know, the way you deal with a personal hygiene choice there. People are very passionate about their pros and cons on which is the best and the worst. And it's like, yeah, of course I'm just objectively right. And like people who do the opposite are, you know, like just, you know, wasting this or killing this. It's a whole thing. I get it naturally, but I still wear moisturizer, lol. And you know that if it like some days it's like a self-esteem boost, and like, what does it matter if it's good or bad if it's making you feel good, you know? What does it matter ultimately? And that's where most grooming comes down to, right? Like if you feel good and you know you don't feel like you look bad, That's all you need to really care about. But like, we need these myths, not myths, but we need these like collective group things of like, you know, because if you believe that you're only doing a thing because it makes you feel good, you're not going to do the thing when it doesn't directly make you feel good, you know? Things that make us feel good and we get dopamine from, there are like very specific things that can lead us to doing those things. But it's like, so you need to have like, oh yeah, this is like necessary, because if I don't do this, blah 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 blah. The interesting thing about like you know, like the houselessness, let's say, you have to say homelessness, right? Because like you can live in a flat and you're houseless, but it's not a thing. So like the biggest issue of it though is like there is a lot of it that is like, at what point? Because everyone would agree that like if you're made homeless by issues outside your own control, that's horrifying. We need to fix this. The problem, like with every other social issue, is like how much of this is within your control already and a choice, you know? Like we generally, not always, but we have like a barometer of like, you know, like when something is an uncontrollable aspect. I totally agree with this too. If something's 100,000% outside your control, then it sucks if the world, you know, like we need to work on that together, you know, as a society. Whereas when it's like things inside your control, then like isn't that like, you know, like if you do have a smoking addiction, smoking sucks. You have to get into that on your own volition. You know, it's like less important than like, oh yeah, this person has a mental health disorder because, you know, their parents like hit them real bad, and so now they dissociate real bad to avoid traumatic events, but they do it on like a daily basis, and so it's very hard for them to do anything functional. It's like, yeah, well, that's a more understandable cause than like, I don't know, this person is late. This person feels kind of anxious about the idea of working, and so, you know, they just don't. And it's like, well, yeah, there's a bit of a difference there in the, you know, the severity that we take. Want some genuine skincare advice. The trick to caring for your skin is to take your skin and to care for it very well. Trauma, I can relate. I think everyone has their own version of trauma too. I'm not going to say it's like not a competition, because it's 100% a competition. Do you have low-level trauma? You're losing the competition. Do a flyover. I haven't seen this project yet. It says Llamas 22. I will do one soon. Or maybe I won't. Who knows for sure. I don't have any trauma, says Dido the Side Hoe. Oh, fun name, by the way. Dido the Side Hoe. Fun name. Yeah, I think that's like almost in its own form, like not understanding, like, you know, like there are some really dumb things that lots of people just can't do because it's like, yeah, it's like, it's traumatic, you know? And it's like, but how do you, you're like, how can you understand trauma without trauma? And maybe you can. I'm sure there are psychologists who are in this boat. I learned somewhat recently that therapists have to have their own therapist to deal with the therapy they go through. Because, like, they can deal with, like, the darkest of humanity in some cases. And, in fact, it's very much a part of their job to do so. And, it got me thinking about, like, I don't know, about this, like, nature of, like, there is some, you know, like, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's therapy all the way down. It's like, there are problems all the way down, or whatever. Does the therapist need a therapist? You know what, the therapist, I'm assuming, like, they have, like, a circle that they'll use. Or maybe to be a therapist, you have to be a high-level therapist. In which case, being a therapist would be much harder. Yeah, I love doing massive projects in Minecraft, such as mega bases. Yeah, I think a mega base, like, I obviously want to, like, I guess you could argue some of my bases are like that. I always just find mega bases to be annoying. In the same way in real life, I think living in a mansion would suck. I would hate living in a Minecraft mansion, because it's like, oh yeah, do you want to go do this? It's in the room way over there. Or you just never use half the rooms, and it's like, well, this is just big for the sake of being big. Like, you need to have a use for all the space for it to be worthwhile. Most therapists do have their own therapist. I'm the co-owner of a mental health practice, as Lex explains. You know what? So are there therapists? That's my question. what is happening right here? But there's always like an entirely unrelated discussion happening in the comments, and I'm like, well, I mean, you gotta do it somewhere, I guess. Why not here? I've never seen you read my chat, so can you reply and tell me how you're doing? Says Cameron Walker. I'm doing okay. I've been enjoying today's live stream. It's like 50-50 sometimes as to whether it's gonna be great or I'm gonna get tired and like there's a struggle. Okay, you know, here's a struggle with like any form of like work activity, even when it's your dream version of something. Is also hear me out. Pippin FTS has the best megabase. Plus he's building the Earth in Minecraft. Okay, building the Earth in Minecraft is pretty cool. You know, I should build the Earth in Minecraft. That's a fun idea. I used to have a therapist, but one day she just stopped calling me for sessions. See, yeah, even your therapist, you're incredibly well paid. What is that, like 100? I asked when I was in the United States and I had a therapist. I was like, so what's the cheapest therapy she'd heard of was $100 an hour. So this is someone who's making, you know, $1,000 a day. You know, they're a very well-paid professional who know exactly what to say. Ooh, that rhymed. And even then, it's like, oh yeah, she just forgot to email you one day, and then when you didn't email back, she was like, well, I can, yeah, I'll definitely remember later. And then they didn't, you know? Even the highest, you know, like, again, no matter how high up you go, you get people with the same human flaws and inability to remember an email or whatever. If you don't have huge amounts of space, you'd like the Mac claustrophobia. Compact claustrophobia. That does sound pretty cool. You would do a, then you'd have to also build your own house. Then you'd have to build your house. This could end badly. I do have a video planned soon on why the concept of a starter house is one of the most annoying things in the world to me. But you know what? That's a tale for another day, perhaps. Okay, we're gonna place sponges over there and there, so that way I don't get water draining into here. And then we're gonna continuously place underneath this. What is the wheel behind you? Oh, it's a good thing you ask. It is the wheel of Toycat. So every time someone becomes a member to help us reach our goal that is up there, we're just 13 members away right now, I'd like to remind you. Every time someone becomes a member, we spin the wheel. And something happens. Some of them are fairly simple and nice, like tell a story, or show and tell, or make a sign in the world. And some of them are pretty awful, like pickle juice shot. I would genuinely take a shot of pickle juice. Which, you know, some people are like, oh, pickle juice is so great. But, you know, some people said that the 1939 man was justified. And, you know, some people say that you should put horse dewormer in your body as a solution to, you know, very serious viral diseases. And also, after 40 minutes with the phone on the bank, I fixed the problem. I would not be kept from giving Catman money for strange drinks. Toycat is yes. Oh, speaking of strange drinks, should I go grab one? Okay, let me grab one real quick. Should I grab one now, or should I grab one in the morning? I went to an Asian store recently, and I bought this. I bought this beverage. It calls itself a fruit beer, and so I know I'm gonna hate it because again, beer is not a delicious thing. But I'm gonna use it because it's like 2%, so I'm not gonna I can drink the whole thing, and it's not gonna. I'm not gonna be any amount of alcoholed up. I mean, there'll be alcohol in my system, like such a tiny amount that I won't even know. Love your videos. First time seeing you live, but I'm gonna use it to test the breathalyzer because for 350 members, people love the melon juice streams. So I'm gonna do one that involves. I don't know how, but it's gonna involve some form of high score getting. Also, love your videos. First time seeing you live. Hey, thank you, James Wicker, for loving my videos and for seeing me live. Fruit beer sounds like a worse cider. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm glad you understand, Michael D. But yeah, so at 350 members, we'll do that. And every member between here and 350 will spin the Toycat wheel. And yeah, lots of things can happen. Melon juice, greater than cocoa melon. I have no idea what cocoa melon is. I wish I knew what that was. Maybe it should actually be like glowberry, you know, farming glowberries while I drink glowberry juice. I wonder what glowberry juice would be. If you're an alcohol connoisseur, let me know. But yeah, melon juice is where it's at. I tried it the other day. Yeah, I definitely am a big fan. Also, we are... Okay, we can pick that up. Oh, I can... Also, I need to find the place where I broke the glass, and I need to put that back. Right about now. There we go. So, everyone waiting for it to be the 349th, so they get to be the special 350th one. I think you'd get to... You'd miss out on the wheel spinning.
ibxtoycat,
Imagine...
can't believe you're still committed to this project. Hope you're well and your house is coming along well. You're awesome.
Thank you so much, Julie XL. Now, every single day, something gets a little bit more done. And some days, it's really minor progress. And I'm like, how can I make progress that small and still expect to ever finish? And some days, it's much bigger. Would Goldschlager be considered Glowberry juice? Says Michael D. I don't know why. I'm trying to do a German accent, but like with all accents, they end up Indian eventually. So, Kat, do you remember the mending guide story? You said you'll do it after 2 years. The mending guide story. The mending guide story. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the weird beverage because you said that's what you're getting. Also, thank you again, Judy XL, all the way from Canada. Canada's not even a real place, I've heard. You ever know of anyone from Canada? I don't know anyone from Canada. Do you know people? Honestly, I don't know how people deal with houses that have more than 3 floors. Like, a ton of the houses in the air. By the way, I'm putting this tripod away to make the house very slightly more complete. Maybe I'm not. But, yeah, it's such a long journey up and down. Yeah, really. Okay, I'm gonna try plugging in my controller again. We're gonna see if it works. It does not. Yeah, here's how the ocean draining is going so far. Have you tried Captain Morgan's watermelon smash? Tastes delicious. I need to, clearly. I need to. Okay, so... Hello. I'm ibxtoycat. And welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Can you do the One Punch Man workout, please? Says Dido the Sido. Again, love your name. Very funny. Isn't it interesting that the word like side hoe, side chick is like so prevalent in society? Like, and I find that to be interesting. Also, Julie XL, whoa! It doesn't show on screen, but it's just upgraded to Rich Cat. You might be the 10th Rich Cat. I think so. I'd have to check and confirm. Oh no, it does show. Look at this. Wait. Get this, chat. Oh wait, was it not an upgrade? Oh no, it was straight to Rich Cat. Not even like, not an upgrade. I was mistaken. Thank you so much, Julie XL. You know what happens? Not only do we get an extra member, I've been a Rich Cat for a few months, but my old CC expired. You know what? It counts. Would you like to spin the wheel of Toycat? You better believe you get a spin anyway, because why not? And, oh, 2 jumping jack. Why does this come up so disproportionately much? Do we really want me to be that in shape? I guess we have to. Okay, so here's what it looks like right now. Okay, be right back. Isn't that worth like 5 spins? We should set up the rules on Rich Cat. No, there are a bunch of tier benefits of being Rich Cat. Okay, are these jumping jacks? Did I do that correctly? Are you happy, internet? Do you feel satisfied? Also, this camera definitely is turned on. I wonder why it's not showing anything. Well, that's an issue for another day. We love to see Toycat's belly. You're welcome. You're welcome. My only regret is that I can't show you more belly. But are you gonna do a house tour of the new house? Says Kemet. Oh, I did one for members only. If you remember, you should have seen it. I'm gonna do a house tour when I'm like actually moved in correctly. Like it's gonna be a long time, especially because I'm like actively working, and you know, like life is busy. I'm trying to learn to drive because I know there's a timer until, you know, lockdown, you know, V12 comes or whatever. Like there is a limit. There is an active time limit on like when I have to have learned to drive by. And so I'm like trying to like do that. I've got my provisional license, by the way. I'm now like I passed my theory test, I should say. I've had my provisional for years. I now only need to pass a physical test, like get in a car, have an instructor be like parallel park, reverse, drive me over here, blah 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 blah, stuff like that. But yeah, I have no clue how to drive a car. Like I drove a manual round a circle for a while, and I was like I'm still like I know I'll get it eventually. I don't know how people can drive a car and know how thick it is and not feel like they're gonna crash it all the time. It's very, very, very nerve-wracking to me. And so that's one of the skills I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna go to like rural Dorset to drive. There's you know, okay, this is one of those like using money to make life very slightly easier for myself techniques. I just want the piece of paper that says I can drive. I don't want to be able to know how to drive beyond like, again, I want to know how thick the car is. Everything else I can do because I've ridden a scooter. Like I mean, I don't follow traffic laws, but you know what? You get the point. I know how to do most things in a car. I know how to get places and how it works. I just don't know how to not collide into other vehicles, which is kind of important. Anyway, so I want the big piece of paper. There's mirrors, but spatial awareness is annoying. Yeah, maybe the mirrors, but like, even the mirrors though, it's like, it doesn't give me the spatial awareness doesn't get solved. Use a reference point in the car to line it with road lines and just remember that point. But road lines vary so much that it's like, you know, again, I'll work it out. I'm gonna have a professional do this for me. What car do you want? I'm not gonna own a car. I'm not driving a car because I'm not learning to drive a car because I want to own a car and drive it. I'm learning to drive a car because there are parts of the world, hint hint, the place that has the supposedly United States of America. But every time I check, the states seem pretty darn divided about something or other. Whether it's horse deworming or, you know, they're always mad at each other for something. It's always like Texas bad, California bad, Alaska good. I mean, no one says Alaska good. Everyone forgets Alaska exists, if we're being honest. Tesla. Yeah, I definitely have a Tesla if I was going to get one. But I'm not going to. Again, I don't want to drive. Like, there's nowhere I'd want to drive from my house that would be more effective than, you know, like, walking, biking, or taking the train. Even fuel, like, it cost me £1.15, or I might have given away my location just based on that. Ignore what I just said, but it cost me less than $2 to get to functionally anywhere inside the city. And it's like, yeah, so I don't, like, that's going to be cheaper than paying for fuel and insurance and for all those sorts of things. And oftentimes it's faster too. The only thing I'd need it for is like if I have to get a lot of stuff. But I hate shopping in advance. Shopping in advance is like doing a giant disservice to future you. Because every single day I wake up and I have a different want. This morning I wanted pancakes. Tomorrow I'll wake up and I'll probably want, I don't know, a croissant. Or I might want, you know, like a full English breakfast. There's a famous place in London called the Breakfast Club. And you know what if I want to go eat there? I can't because I bought 500 croissants from Costco, and now I have to eat them. Otherwise, I'm just throwing away good food. You know, buying food in advance. I had my license taken away almost 9 years ago for being stupid, drunk and driving. This Tuesday, I take the test to get my license back. Drunk driving isn't worth it, folks. No, getting caught for drunk driving isn't worth it. See, I'm gonna. I don't want to open that can of worms actually. But I genuinely think that no, I don't think anything. I do think you should obviously not. I think that in general, it's like Drinking and driving is like an exercise in saving a very small amount of money at a very high risk of people's lives. Like, just get a taxi. It's fine. It's all good. It's very easy to. Okay, so this is a beverage I bought at the store. It is supposedly a Taiwanese Longchan fruit beer. It's 2% alcohol. And so that's like half of what a beer is. And it's one tiny regular beverage size can. So this is like meant to be a tasty lemon flavored fruit beer. It tastes a bit too berry for my liking. Again, no one's like, yeah, crops are so great. Also, GXL, I mean drink and drive. My uncle died that way. Yeah, see, right, that's what I'm saying with like, and he did it to avoid what, like, I'm gonna try and convert Canadian dollars, like, you know, like 10 Canadian dollars and, you know, like, oh, sorry, there's Uber too. I guess I'm saying taxi when I really mean, actually, you know what? Uber while you're drunk is a whole different experience. I feel so bad every single time, whereas a taxi, it's like, yeah, this is your whole job. I don't feel bad about this at all. Maybe that's like my personal fault. You know, because like Uber drivers, we have the stereotype that they're all like barely on the breadline. It's like the homeless thing where we assume like, yeah, the only reason anyone could possibly be doing this is if they're absolutely forced to and they have no other choices. It's like, no, I just enjoy the hours, man. I think that's this offensive problem we have at a certain point in life where we're like, the only life anyone could ever want is one that is exactly like the life I'm living right now. Any other life is inherently incorrect, and I feel so sorry for people who have to live that way. It's like, no, I'm choosing. This is the way I'm trying to live my life. You're actively trying to like, I like the flexibility in the hours and people have none of that. They're like, no. The reason people are Uber drivers is because they have no, you know, it's like the McDonald's thing where people are like, oh, you work at McDonald's, man, must have fallen rough times. It's like, no, this is just my job, man. You're being so much meaner than anyone else could ever possibly be by trying to be nice. Can we have an ibxtoycat video in Afghanistan? That is a great idea. Yeah, I think my point there. By the way, sorry if you lost GXL. Assuming you cared about your uncle. That's always like a key clarification, right? Like, you know, like, what percentage of people like their uncles? It's like probably higher than 80, but it's not 100. It's not 100. But no, yeah, I'm very sorry. I don't look down on people with service jobs. I appreciate them. Yeah, I mean, like, some people look down, but I think it's even like another level of like, I see a lot of people who are doing a job that is like temporary, the perfect fit for them, you know? Like, I have been in a restaurant where someone has made a $100 tip on an hour's worth of work. Even when you work in one of those insane places where the restaurant gets half, which isn't how tipping should work, but I'm not American, so I won't comment. I mean, I will comment anyway, because that's all I do every day. But, like, even when you work at one of those insane places, right? Even then, it's like, that's $50 for an hour of work, and they have lots of these tables. They're making a lot of money, and, like, power to them, you know? I wouldn't use that as an excuse to be rude to them and be like, hey, snap, snap, over here. Because I think in general, that's like a poor... But it's like, you know, it's not like, oh, they're this, like, this poor little baby we have to protect. You know, like, babying in society is a very big problem. Where we assume that, again, anyone who lives a lifestyle that is different to yours is only doing so because, like, ooh, falling on some hard times. So, Kat, how would you react if people voted for the worst mob in the mob vote? I mean, I know people are going to do it already, so I'm... You know, how would I react? I'd react unsurprised. That's how. Okay, I need to kill the creeper. Okay, let's go. Go, 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 go. We did it. Nice. Kat used to work in BK when I was in college. I met some nice people ever. Yeah, I feel like there's a... maybe that's proving the point somewhat. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's proving a different point. But, yeah, I think this attitude is very prevalent. And, it's how so many people are, like, trying to argue and, like, help people out, but, like, actually do, like, a huge disservice for them. And so I've always found, like, arguing on behalf of imaginary other people to to be a problem. Oh god, I drank like an actual mouthful, and that was the worst thing I've had in a while. So yeah, at the end of this stream, I'm hoping I can get up to like whatever the minimum amount of alcohol registered can be, so I can show that the breathalyzer works. Because I bought this thing. As you can see, it's got a little thing on the top for, you know, the things that it does. So we're gonna turn this on. Maybe we're not gonna turn it on. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. We're gonna turn this on, and then we're gonna. Oh, so it spends 10 seconds waking up for some reason. And okay, 2, 1, and then we have to blow for 10 seconds. That's enough, right? Oh, whoa, look at this. I have 0.6% grams per liter, 0.06 BAC, and it says danger. Like I'm a. Oh, it's probably because it's like in my mouth or something. Like I don't think it's actually the stuff in my blood. I think it's in the. It's gotta be like the mouth amount, right? Almost too drunk to drive in the USA. I wonder if my. No, it doesn't make any sense. I do have like a underperforming body for alcohol reasons. There's a fun story behind that. You have yet to metabolize it. Yeah. It's got to be the mouth-based alcohol that it's reading there, right? There's no way it's not, unless I just massively misunderstand how these things work. So let's combine the tridents together real quick. Let's throw those in there. Let's put the bone in, the lever in. Oh god, we made a whole extra stack. Then we'll put the stack of ice in and the flint. And now we have at least a little bit more. Hello Mr. Toycat, says Levi. It's good to see you, Levi. Or is it good to see you? Or am I just lying because I'm being polite? No, it's good to see you. Breathalyzers work more accurately after no food or drink for 15 minutes. Yeah, I have heard it's something about your mouth. You can hit 0.06 with a heavy alcohol mouthwash. So if you're ever getting pulled over by a police officer, just consume a ton of mouthwash and be like, you don't know, mister. What's the officer, mister? Problem? As you can, I have mouthwash, so I smell good. I don't even dare to try after using mouthwash because a breathalyzer says mark you. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy about this. I genuinely am sure that I will never, like, I don't want to, I'm gonna accidentally end up, like, saying, like, oh yeah, like, even if you, like, okay, you know, I was saying yesterday, isn't it weird that if you litter, the odds of you being caught are way lower than if you commit a murder? And it's like, well, it shouldn't matter what the crime is in terms of getting caught. It should only affect the sentence. But as a society, we agree that, like, it doesn't actually matter about catching most litterers. But then it's like, if it doesn't matter about catching most of them, why do we have punishments at all? And it's like, oh, it's just to deter people. It's like, but if people don't think they're going to get caught, they're not going to change their behavior. I don't know. Every single day we catch people not paying for train tickets in, like, the UK, London, you know, everywhere in the system. And we could argue, like, oh yeah, well, you know, the punishment once they get caught isn't that big of a deterrent, but, like, we still punish them anyway. Because, like, you know, fairness or something like that. So isn't it, like, the opposite of fairness to be like, yeah, we're gonna, 1 in every 1,000 people who litter get a £250 fine. It's like, but shouldn't we just not, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna drink a little more. It's just not tasty enough. You seem like the sort of guy to skip on the train, to be fair, says Clifton. 123. When there's automatic barriers on either end, it's just like, I want to just get through those easily enough. And you can put, I don't know. Let me put it this way, actually. I feel a societal obligation to pay for collective things like that. When I, like, in certain cases. And sometimes it's just like, I do it because it's the most convenient option. You seem like the sort of guy to be sponsored by water. Wow, this video is sponsored by water. Did you know you can drink it and it's good for you? Half fare on the train till I was 18 because I look young and I'm short. So I went to college and needed to get travel pass. Sad times. Yeah, I think that's one of the unspoken advantages of being a woman, right? Is like okay, you know, because beauty in women is like, okay, you know, this is like offensive to say to some portion of people, so I'm sorry if so, but most of what beauty standards actually are is just looking young. It's like looking young, or like in some weird cases it's like, you know, replicating biological signals from nature. But it's mostly like, yeah, what most makeup and most blah 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 does is makes you try and look young. Actually, I'd say makeup makes you look a little bit older, but like, you know, it's very hard to calculate a woman's age compared to a guy's age. You know, a beard gives you away and so on and so forth. I feel like you can relatively calmly say you're 16 and get away with it. And you can do that way later, or even like 13. It's like, ooh, this person could be 13 maybe? What's ironic is work done on women makes them age. Oh, same with, if I'm not mistaken, makeup is also like, something about the longer you leave it in your skin, the more it doesn't age you, but it adds wrinkles, which we see collectively as society as age. I wonder when wrinkles, I guess because they're more common in older people, that's how that becomes. Anyway, if you're silly, you can sign this petition to ban the word ibxtoycat from chat. I could actually just do that myself someday, huh? Just ban it one day, see how people react. Might be fun. I do love a good communist crackdown. If you get a train line ticket, show the ticket when asked. You can still cancel the ticket and get a full refund loss, as Dido the side hoe. Yeah, usually it's got a thing of like you have to activate it before you board the train, on the trains I catch at least, specifically for that reason. I guess if you just did it before the ticket inspector came, you'd be good. Ban the word late. Yeah, the real pro tip if you don't want to pay for train tickets is you just hide in the bathroom the entire time. Right, that's all you have to do. Obviously, if it's like a long enough train, they're gonna wise onto it. But if it's like a medium length train journey, you know, it's fine. Actually, one time I had a train ticket and everything, but I had a train inspector in Switzerland wait for me outside the bathroom because he's like, have not inspected your ticket. And he just assumed that I was like, you know, running, trying to avoid it or something. So yeah, I ended up like, I had to show my passport, which was weird, in my opinion. He's like, give passport and then now give ticket, which I think is actually smart to do it, like show identity before you show a ticket, because like then you can't deny it, because it's like, well, that's all they need. So like there's very weird psychological things and why they're onto the bathroom trick. But it's like, what are they gonna do when you get to your station? You know, because if you waited in there from the moment you got on the train to the moment you got on the station, just like, I literally have diarrhea, Mr. Officer. There is a barrage of brown waste coming out of me. What do you want me to do? Because I can't leave the train right now. And then the moment your station gets there, you're done. And they're like, sorry, can I see your ticket? And it's like, sorry, I'll shut. I gotta get off here. You know, it's a birthday party or something. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, again, I have never done that personally. I'm sure it's like awkward, embarrassing, something or other. And like in reality, sitting in the toilet for an entire train ride is like worse than just not. So that's why people would just not, right? Whatever. They'll unlock the door. You think they'll unlock the door? Trust me, they've heard it all. Okay, that if they really will unlock the door, that means that every, like, you know, for every 10 people they try that on, sure, 9 of them are just, you know, train errants, and one of them is a guy genuinely pooping his guts out. You get me, right? Like if you were in there being like, oh no, I'm not coming out. But if you're like making like bad bathroom noises via bad bathroom noises app on your phone, I don't know. I feel like it must be possible. Depends if there are any seats. And again, in reality, you're doing like a really bad thing socially when you do that, because you're taking up toilets on a train where there are no doubt people who need, you know, people need to use the toilets. That's why the toilets exist. Yeah, I think that's why most people would, in reality, not. Okay, so let's place a sponge there. And there we go, we're good. But everyone in the city is a crook. Yeah, something about living in a big city is like, you have to just kind of accept that the vast majority of human beings you meet are like, oh, this person's... Everyone's trying to get something from you. Like, I've heard this funny story of like, when people move back out to like a small town in the countryside or something, and they're like really suspicious still because they've got that city instinct. And it's like, oh, you don't need to fear for everything here, because it's just... Also, what's with the mending story? I'm pretty sure Toycat just trades new tools all the time, but I might be wrong. Yeah, I actually have a ton of mending books, right? Actually, you know, Toycat's first time playing Toycat's Toycat Attacks. Bought your world in the store, and you're like, a mending frightened me. I have mending on every tool besides my hoe and my... Oh no, I have it on my axe too. What should have mending? And I have it on all my armor too. I wonder what you're talking about, Mayako Simp. Have you been scammed by a fake charity in London? No, okay, you know, this one, okay, what's the word for this? Chegging. Charity begging. Okay, this is like, I sound like a heartless monster when I say this. So, before I say the next thing, sure, ignore me because I'm a heartless monster. Begging is not a, like, people mistake beggars for homeless people. Being homeless is not having a home. Begging is soliciting money on the street from strangers, using any variety of tales, some of which might include, I don't have a this. But like, you know, it's a source of making money via people's guilt. It is one of the biggest, like, you're not producing value, you're trying to sneak a little value from people, which is fine. If you are in a bad situation, that's why we don't make it illegal, you know, some would say. But the worst thing is charities realize, like, oh, people feel guilt and then they give money, and so all you gotta do is you just have to find them. You know, we're charities, our whole thing is we create guilt. Like, have you ever received a phone call from a charity? Very unpleasant. Ever received a door knock from a charity? They know these are the ways things work. But then charities realized, you know, the real guilt is being produced via this begging on the streets. Just like, you know, you stop someone when they're going somewhere, like, ah, please, desperately need some financial help. And you're like, oh god, I just want this awkward to go away. Here is some money. And so this is a particularly British phenomenon. There's something called chegging, right? Charity begging. So they hire a ton of people, you know, and sometimes they're paid minimum wage and a small commission. Sometimes they're paid exclusively on commissions. Obviously in the UK it's illegal to pay someone less than minimum wage, so officially it's just like the tip thing where they look at it and like, if you don't make minimum wage, they'll tip you, you know, they'll cover you up to there. But the idea is you can give money to a charity. The current one is stopping knife crime. Also, we need desert salmon and big whales. I agree. Also, Jim, I'm eating a Whopper right now, and you're talking about getting rid of a Whopper. Also, yay, Toycat, you're my closest friend, so it stung what you said earlier. You know what, Jim, you deserve it if you're my closest friend. Also, how much is the average gas price in the UK? I don't know. It's a pound, like 40 a litre, and there's like 4 litres in a gallon, so like, I don't know, $8. I think we call that canvassing in the US. Yeah, so doing it for businesses being like, oh yeah, do you want to sign up for a new... It's normal enough. But, so these people will aggressively stop you where you're going. I cannot tell you how aggressive they are about this, because, again, in a city, everyone has this attitude of just ignore things. They are trying to bypass that ignore you attitude. And it's like, hey, it's really important, we're doing this thing for charity, we're trying to end homelessness, we're trying to stop knife crime. Do you not want to stop knife crime? Are you a monster who likes knife crime? That's actually how it goes. And so the way it works is they just convince you like, hey, we're just trying to have a conversation about knife crime. And so let's say something like that. And it's like, yeah, we could really use the money to fund more knife crime things because we want to stop knife crime. You're like, oh, I want to stop knife crime. I do think it's bad that people die to knives. I would prefer, you know, they die to normal causes like guns or something. Or, you know, like heart attacks, whichever happens first. And so then they, you know, like, as a good citizen, you're like, ah, oh, yeah, let's do my best to stop these. Yep, I love knife crime. Have a nice day. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I want to say. What I say is like, sorry, I already donated. Because like, what are you gonna do? I gave to your charity already. You can't say, nah, I want the money right now, because that's how I'm paid. And so yeah, it's this whole thing. And the basic idea is when you give money, I think the suggested like donation is like £25. A percentage of that is a commission for the person giving it. And it sounds messed up that you can give £25 to a charity and not all the £25 goes to a charity, but it's a standard thing. Like commissions, it's better for a charity to take £25 from you and only make £20 or only make £12 than to make £0. It's the reason charities spend money on advertising. Again, if you can spend $10,000 on an ad, but that ad will make you $15,000, then you know you've done a net positive for the charity. I personally though, I think that's messed up. I think the idea of like charities spending money to get money, it's like, no, that's not what you do. You help people out, and then, but like again, any form of making money as a charity involves like telling people about it. But again, the most effective technique every single charity has is, oh yeah, we will tell people about it so they feel bad, and we'll offer them the solution, which is giving us money. It's a tried and true technique. Oh god, this one's all the way full too. And so yeah, it's frustrating though, because it's like the person promoting it might genuinely care about their cause, but their actual interests are in they make money when you commit to stopping knife crime or whatever. And I don't like I really don't like when someone has their interests aligned against mine. Like, your interests are in making me part of my money. Like, I remember the first time I ever came across one of these, I was like a 17-year-old. And like, I just didn't know better than to not talk to the stranger on the street. This is the real reason not talking to strangers needs to be promoted more. And so the stranger on the street is like, yeah, could you get some money? And I was like, I don't have any money because like, I get £10 a week and I've already spent, like, I literally had no money when I was a teenager. I was like, I had like £2 to buy lunch of that day. And he was like, yeah, I could just, I don't have to take money from you now. I could, if you send a number to this text, we'll get £10 on your next phone bill. And it's like, I'm not forcing my parents to give you £10 because I feel bad. Chick has a different definition for every engineering student ever. Also, P.S. This is still my favorite non-fiction podcast. Hey, thank you, Crocodile. Honestly, there's a big problem in that, like, I love that people love this as a, like a podcast about whatever else in the world. But it's really hard to, like, promote that or, like, get that to work via the YouTube algorithm because my title looks nothing like what I'm doing. So if you have any friends, like, the only way to solve it, as I can tell, is if you have any friends who would love to listen to a man ramble about nothing for absolutely hours, consider telling them about ibxtoycat's weird live streams. Yeah, I think that, oh god, what happened to me? What is happening right now? Also, by the way, if you'd like to become a member, you get to spin the wheel. We're 2 away from 340. If you're watching it right now and you felt like, you know what, I would like to help that out, maybe consider hitting that member button. You get a green name, you get to feel warm fuzzy feelings in your heart, you even get access to exclusive member posts, like, which include the house tour, it includes Toycat bathing in Iron Brew. It's a good collection of videos, that is. Does becoming a member stop your arse in Toycat? Nah, that'll never stop Jaden Ogden. Yeah, I find it to be endlessly frustrating when people have this incentive to make you feel bad. Because even if they, like, again, I feel bad every single time. I've got this, like, I'm never gonna do it out of, like, principle. And it's like, if you hadn't spoken to me this morning, my day would be better. You wanting to get paid has genuinely made my day worse. And I'm upset that you are going to continue to do this to other people. You are going to make people's days worse because that is how you make your money. And I'm genuinely upset that even if you quit, they will replace you with someone else. And this is a so-called charity. You know, this is something that gets a tax benefit from the UK because they're doing, you know, every country gives charities special rules because they're like doing a social good. Are you doing a social good when you're putting, you know, when you're running. That's my whole point. I think that feel bad for me, Toycat. My life is so hard. Why is your life so hard, Michaela? Unless it's a joke about me saying that I hate knife crime people. You know, doesn't everyone hate knife crime people? Also, and okay, you're not here. It might be best to actually just, okay, I'm gonna try this without putting another layer of gravel in. Might be a dumb idea. No, I'm gonna have to put the layer of gravel in. Let's just do it. Also, I find the idea of, I find carrying a very big knife on my hip reduces the number of people begging for money to stop knife crimes. You know, that's a funny idea, you know? Would you like to help talk about stopping knife crimes? You know, I will stop knife crimes. You've convinced me. So Cat, the many fingers on the life mending guide let's play 2 years ago now. Oh, I have no. Oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. I still can't talk about it. I'm sorry. I thought I would, but I need to be very careful about what I say now. The reason I can't talk about the weird story I could talk about in 2 years is because my life took a slightly different direction than I was anticipating. Man, it's weird that that was 2 years ago. That something so. Okay, can I okay, I'll tell you in very coded language, so that you can imagine whatever it is, and that I can have pure deniability. I was like basically accused of something I very much didn't do 2 years ago today, and I was very terrified because when you're a guy. Also, thank you so much, Mark.
Tax. I love your live streams.
Thank you so much for loving the live streams, and indeed for tipping, on the Streamlabs, the hero we all need. That's a sad ending for it, but at least you finally saw it. Yeah, I couldn't work out what you were meaning the whole time. Also, Heatwave, thank you for becoming the 339th member. Let's spin that Toycat wheel. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Could be anything. Oh, we just missed over the pickle shot. Google/Urban Dictionary your name. I feel like if I Google Urban Dictionary Heatwave, it's okay. You know what? Heatwave Urban Dictionary. The act of having. I can't say this one out loud. The act of having censored intercourse with someone who has recently consumed very spicy food. First coined in late 2006, the term heatwave refers to the warming sensation one's censored feels during and after the act. Well, you know what? Thank you for that, Heatwave. Thank you for becoming the 339th member, by the way. Big appreciation. Also, you should redo the 100 block challenge from 1.18 and see how much faster you can get all 100, considering all the new blocks from 1.17/18. Oh, that's a fun idea, Decora. I might do that. We'll probably have to be reminded, but it's a whole thing. No, yeah, I had this, like... I had, like, the worst morning of my life. Because, okay, you know, okay, when you're a guy, you always have this fear of, like... If someone just says that you did... Like, I think this is a fear everyone has on, like, a wide level. But, like, when it comes to, like, certain things. If someone just says you did something, what's your proof that you didn't? If right now, the Stop the Knife Crime guy goes, oh, stop beating me up, stop beating... Oh, and then, like, is punching himself real hard, files a police report, you know, like, it is, you know, word versus word. That's, like, the scariest situation to be in life. Because, like... You know, you can't defend yourself besides saying I didn't. And they can't... Their attack of saying you did is compelling because most people don't make things up, right? And so, yeah, you know, like, whenever you bring it up as a fear, because a lot of guys on the internet say, like, isn't it crazy, like, that when we say, like, you know, let's... There's always this thing of, like, yeah, people don't just make up things, though. But, like, I had, like, a situation where someone that basically happened. And, it was so scary. I was like, oh, God. I was, you know, like, you know, it's like a thing you fear about, but, like, I have a fear that I leave the oven on, and I never do that. But it was like, yeah, this is like a direct, it was a thing. And I felt very, very, very scared for a while. Thankfully, everything is okay now. But yeah, I don't know. It was a situation. Sometimes people do just make things up. It really depends on the person. Yeah, that's the hardest thing I think in the the authorities' job, right? Of like, how do you know if someone is telling the truth or not? You have no clue because you don't know the people. You know, if people come through regularly, like if someone comes in a lot with a story of this or that, you might know. But yeah, I don't know. Dude, just say what you mean. There's a very good reason I'm not doing that. So thank you for the suggestion anyway. Anyway, so yeah, I guess I am thankful that it didn't go sideways. Don't let your kids on CompuServe, friend. People always suck. I think there's this very interesting like interaction though, of like, especially, I know it was a reminder for me too of like, I want to have as little to do with as many people as possible, because it's so scary that someone can just decide that thing you do, you know, because the way internet careers are ruined is accusations. It's never like a real thing. It's like, all it takes is someone being mad with me, and they don't have to be correct. They just have to say a thing, and it's like, what is your proof you haven't done things? And it's like, I don't have proof that I didn't rob a grocery store earlier today. And it's like, so you did it, is what you're saying. And it's like, I'm not saying that at all. Yeah, it's a weird situation. You know, life is a weird situation, right? Life is a weird situation. So yeah, was it because of YouTube that you're accused? Oh, no, it was nothing. It was unrelated. Although it could have become related if someone, if someone wants to, they can link anything, right? And then they can, it was a whole thing. But yeah, that was, I have good news in that didn't go terribly. It was like, oh yeah, it was a funny misunderstanding. And by funny misunderstanding, I mean it wasn't funny at all. And, I'm glad that's a thing. Someone accused my friend of being a child trafficker on Facebook. Everyone believed the accused. Because, like, people don't make things up. There's no incentive for people to make things up. Except sometimes there is. And it's hard to, like, know what it is. That's why what you need to realize in life is, also, thank you so much, Enderstar, 22. Like, your whole, like, in life, you need to know what motivations people have against you. It's like a murder, but, like, preemptively. Who wants you dead? And who, who wants you discredited, and like be aware of those people, and I don't know, it's like a preemptive thing. And again, I feel like in general, most people who say things probably aren't, like most people who, if you accuse, like again, when there is that one-on-one situation, it's not them making up. I have a friend of a friend, their girlfriend was genuinely like abusive, like threatened him with a knife, actually stabbed him once, and then you go to the police in that situation, they're like, oh yeah, you really want us to believe, this little woman stabbed you, gentlemen, whereas, like the word versus word thing. It's like very terrifying for a lot of people, I think. I got sued by a liar and they ended up getting $17K from the insurance company. Thankfully, I was super broke in college and they had nothing to go after. Oh, that is terrifying. So you're right. Like, there's a lot of life that relies on why would people make that up, but it's also like people do make things up all the time. Anyway, that's a whole story. I will tell it at some point when it's like ancient history, but right now it is not ancient history. But yeah. So by the way, I love that I get the night vision in the rain. That is a Bedrock exclusive, by the way. Big salmon and better conduit vision. What's not to love about this version? So, before we go today, us actually stabbed him once.
I'm glad they're still doing this. When I got off work, I can watch now.
I got some bad news, Zach Roa. We're at the very end of the stream. Before we go, though, if anyone has been considering becoming a member this whole time, wouldn't 340 look so much better than 339? Wow, I know I personally think so. If you also agree with that, have you considered becoming a member? Did you know it costs just Conduit Night Vision's not just on Java? No, so it's Night Vision on both platforms, but you only get Conduit effect in the rain on Bedrock. On Java, even when it's raining, you have to be underwater. Why don't you combine your tridents in an anvil? Why don't you combine your tridents in an anvil? Yeah, I got you good there, didn't I? I know your number. Okay, we're making real good progress, by the way. I'm liking it. I feel like we should be proud of ourselves. Got a lot of wet sponges I've got to pick up, though. A lot of wet sponges. Worked on Java with me last year. Oh no, wait. Sorry, I'm thinking of no, I'm thinking of the trident impaling damage. Sorry, no, that is my bad. It's the trident impaling damage that works only on. It works on every mob if they're wet on Bedrock, whereas on Java it only works on fish and the guardians or whatever they're called. You know, those things that protect the galaxy. You combine them for free in the crafting table. Yeah, that's what I would realistically do, right? No one would do the more roundabout, more annoying way, I don't think. Let's break this down. You know, let's do most of this with our shovel, so we can get it back, like proportional to where we're going. Who's gonna be wife 340? Do you want to lock in your place in history as the 340th member? They're adding the impaling behavior from Bedrock to Java in the combat update too. Oh, so in about 10 years, it'll be parity then, huh? See, that's a funny joke because of how slow the combat update is. Yeah, I'm glad that people enjoyed the thing, by the way. It does mean a lot to me. Yeah, it's been really, I think one of the things I need to do, like, now I'm back in the UK on a semi-permanent basis. I do need to work out. Stop chugging, we're not going to spend £3 a month to save a toy cat. It's called chegging. Wait, no, that's what I've got to do, right? I've got to start. I'm doing this all wrong. I'm trying to make you feel good. I should actually make you feel bad and then sell the cure. So, if we don't hit 340 members, then, you know, my grandmother will literally die. Don't ask how, but probably. Wouldn't you like my grandmother not to, you know, I know what I'm saying. If we don't hit 340 members, I won't eat a snack tonight. I'm gonna go home, down to my kitchen, and I'm gonna say I don't deserve a snack. Is that the future you want? For me and my snacks? I don't think it's the future you should want. I think that the future you should want for me and my snacks is a positive future. And so yeah, if you want to become a member and you want me to have you want me to have a snack that I'm currently being deprived of by you not being a member, do you want to stop toy cat crimes? You should want to stop toy cat crimes. I'm super sad. I've been working so much that I haven't caught a live stream in a while. Glad to catch one, even though it's 2 hours in. Hey, good to see you, Stephen Renfro. It's been a while. What's the snack? Honestly, I already had a snack earlier. I had a Ben & Jerry's. They're called Peace Pops. It's like cookie dough ice cream on a stick. Because, you know, I can't trust myself a whole tub, but I can trust myself a stick. Or I thought I could trust myself a stick. I actually can't, but that's a story for another time. But yeah, no, I'm really sorry to hear about that, Stephen Renfro. But it's good to see you, as always, which is basically the opposite of that. We got some good news. Jim has become a member, and that means we've officially hit, say it with me now, 340 members. And now we get to spin the wheel of Toycat. Pickle Juice is still on the board, doing a sign with your name permanently in the Let's Play, still on the board. But what's it gonna be? Let's spin the wheel. Also, thank you, Mayako Simp. But thank you, Wheel, for not giving me Pickle Juice and instead giving me Tell a Joke. Okay, get this right. So, what's the deal with airline food, am I right? Okay, what did the 0 say to the 8? Nice belt. A baby seal walks into a club. Ouch. A horse walks into a bar. And the bartender says, why the long face? And the horse says, I'm finally realizing that my alcoholism is driving the family apart. You know, there you go. Hope you enjoyed my joke today. Also, is the joke Canada, Hexateron, Lamau terrible? You know, okay, wait. Let me get a joke that you guys are really gonna enjoy. Two scientists walk into a bar. The first one says, I'll have some H2O. The second one says, I'll have some H2O too. That's funny. How many Spanish men does it take to change a light bulb? Probably just one. Finishing a live stream is so awkward. It's like, no, you hang up, Toycat. You know what? No, you hang up. Maybe I don't want to hang up. Maybe I enjoy our time together too much for that. You forgot to say the second scientist died. I feel like it's... What is H2O2 actually? Like, let me Google that real quick. H2O2. It's like, I know it's... hydrogen peroxide. Yeah, he would be dead. Yeah. I guess the second scientist just wants... You know, what happens if you order bleach at a bar? Like, I know they actually just wouldn't serve you. But I want to know more about the interaction, you know? Like, would they actually not just serve you? Or would they go, are you sure about this one, mate? Draining an entire ocean? That's some dedication. It is some dedication. But you better believe I'm doing it anyway. Bleach is not H2O2. Hydrogen peroxide is H2O2, which is a reactive oxygen species, and the simplest peroxide, a compound having an oxygen single bond. Whatever, you get the point. I remember my science teacher told me that joke. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm just your science teacher in disguise now. They'd say, sorry, we don't have that. You know, that'd be a professional bartender. Yeah, if you go to like a really fancy restaurant, like a really fancy steak place, and go, can I have some chicken nuggets? You know, like, you always want to be the first person to ask the question, because you on the first time, no one really knows what the answer is, right? Go to bed. You know, I'm gonna go for a walk first, and you can't even stop me. Or maybe I should do something else. I've been trying to play some Hearthstone for a while, but I've been like, I know I've got like, especially right now, every waking moment I feel like I have to be doing something or recovering from doing something. I need to put some more time into just like being me and doing myself, but I'm not, and so there's a problem. But yeah, no, thank you so much, Jim, for helping us reach 340 members. We're 10 away from the goal. Hopefully we hit it by the end of September. Before we go, it's been a while since I had some. It's been a while since I had any of this terrible fruit beer. Let's see with the almighty breathalyzer. Let's see what this is all about. Okay, it warms up for 10 seconds, and that's going to tell me. Again, if it still says that it's like 0.06, it's clearly broken. Hey, Blake Davis, thank you for becoming a channel member. I'm going to be blowing in. And then what it says is I'm at 0.0%. So you're correct. A 2%, half of a 2% beer will get you to 0. I am now legal to drive a vehicle despite having drunk. Which is an interesting point, right? That legal drunk is different to real drunk. And so is drinking, because you barely drank, silly. Yeah, no, I still figured it'd be like the lowest reading, because it'd be some amount in my blood. But that's how little half a 2% beer will do to you. And so the lesson is you can still drink alcohol without actually having alcohol in your blood. Or you'll have such a tiny amount of alcohol in your blood that it makes no actual difference. Anyway, thank you so much for becoming the Fringe 45th member. Guess what we get? We get a spin on the Toycat wheel. And you know what we get in exchange? Not the pickle juice. We don't get the pickle juice. What we get instead is make a sign of your name. And now, Blake Davis, you will forever have a sign in this world. Let's go do it. I'm gonna put it in a really weird place, so only you and everyone else watching the stream we'll find it. Just as the because this is the first sign we're placing down due to this. Has to be in a weird, momentous place. Also that the Minecraft team don't find. So I don't have any wood right now. We're gonna have to go chop down some... How do I get wood out here? Did you see that? Like, okay, you know, I'm gonna have to go find a sign. You know what? I'll find a place for a sign. It'll be great. Yeah, it's not just you, Bradley. All alcohol is worse than non-alcoholic drinks, with very few exceptions. You have to, like, learn to like alcohol, just like with anything else. Whereas sugar is, like, naturally enjoyable to the body. Or maybe we just learn to like sugar because it's in so many things. I don't know which way around that goes, actually. Okay, so we're gonna grab a sign. Here is an oak sign. And we're gonna go put your name on it. If only there was a forest around. And you know what? Now there'll be a sign forever. Over here? Yeah, I like over here. It's like in such a small place. Blake Lively. But is it Blake Lively or am I just making that up? No, Blake Davis. Oh no, I'm sorry. Is Blake Lively a person? Or did my brain just... I disagree. Cocktails are amazing. Cocktails are amazing because they contain so much sugar, right? I mean, I love cocktails too. I do. Okay, so Blake Davis, member 341. Yeah. Maybe I should... Yes, she's Ryan Reynolds' wife. Okay, I'm gonna look up Blake. You know what? Blake... That doesn't sound like a real person. Oh no, it is a real person. An American actress. She's an American actress born in Los Angeles. I'm always blown away by how many actors and actresses are born in LA. You'd figure if it's like a meritocracy, people would like move to there with their skills, and that's like the story we're always told. But so many famous people are like, yeah, I was born in LA, and I did the thing that's here. It's acting. Did you see the 1.19 leak? It'll be the Desert Will update. Cocktails are the perfect combination of liver disease and diabetes. So true, right? So true. Yeah, no, I do really enjoy a good cocktail. But again, it's like, it's because you put 25 or 50 mils or even 75 mils of alcohol, and then you top it up with delicious liquids that make a perfect flavor balance that you just don't get to appreciate otherwise. Like it's annoying when people like don't like alcohol because you don't get to like share this joy with them. But yeah, it's one of those things I enjoy a lot. Speaking of things I enjoy, this is the end of the live stream. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you didn't, guess what? You're in the wrong place. Stop watching the live stream. Or, better yet, oh man, I just have so many wet sponges. Or, better yet, come watch the next one. Means a lot coming from you, beer hater. Come watch the next live stream. It'll be Sunday, I want to say. Could be tomorrow. Tomorrow, they're doing some structural work in my house, and then I'm going to the doctor, and then there's someone coming around to look at my bathroom to see if we can like knock holes in the walls to like store. Because I want to have like a toilet where all the plumbing's in the wall, so I don't have to look at any of it. How does that work actually? How would you fix, like, how the flushing? You know, I haven't worked out any of the details, but what I do know is that I'm looking forward to seeing you in the future, unless there's a tragic house fire, in which case I'll know that you betrayed me and forgot to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video. Did they change your lights? I guess that's a thing that's gonna need to happen. I need to buy some lights. I'm gonna go buy some lights for my new downstairs room. If you haven't seen it, look on my Twitter for a wall that got knocked down. Yeah, there's a lot of things we're gonna be changing very shortly. My life is just doing tiny house tasks here and there. Thank you, Jira, for the peach butt, and thank you for watching, because I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Look, this is waving goodbye. Actually, nowadays you do like a Minecraft emote, right? What is it? B? Goodbye, everyone. This is me. This is what I'm gonna claim you did to me if you don't leave right now. And it's gonna be my word again. You know, that's a terrible off-color joke to end on. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.